onto Griffin. Tornado, EMP coming up as well. F is going to have his mana drained completely. Billy is under on the fight. There's Snapfire getting 2 kills on the backline. Pressure Student, you have no damage here. The Ghost Walk. Wait, what? The creep took it. He doesn't pop out the fall. Sword. And we're going to be onto Griffin. Tornado, EMP coming out as well. F is going to have his mana drained completely. Billy is under the fight. There's Snapfire getting 2 kills on the backline. Pressure Student, you have no damage here. The Ghost Walk. is going to have his mana drained completely. Billy is under on the fight. There's Snapfire getting 2 kills on the backline. Pressure Student, you have no damage here. The Ghost Walk. to get rid of the top out the floor. So, remember going to be onto Griffin. Tornado, EMP coming up as well, and is going to have his mana drained completely. Really is under the fire, so Snapfire getting 2 kills on the back line. Pressure opportunity, you have no damage here. The Ghost Walk.
Okay, Dev, we live. Let's go. Okay, so welcome everyone to EGL. I think my partner here has a bit of technical difficulties at the moment.
I'm fine. I must admit, I was totally confused for a second there, but yeah, I'm with you now. That's good.
Hey.
So yeah, I mean, you started us off. I mean,
I'm gonna hand it over to you. Like, let's up with that voice of yours and like let's get this going. Let's get the ball rolling. Like things are happening tonight. Like it's the big boys time.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, this is it's been a fairly amazing tournament so far already. We've had the build up with the qualifiers being phenomenal. We've had the wildcard draws. We've made all of our announcements, but now it's time to go and time to rumble. And of course, for these sides, it's a pretty important tournament as well to do well. And this is going to be fairly historic. And for these two sides, I feel like the match we're casting today, IDGAF versus MWG ZALZ, I kind of feel like this is unscripted. We don't quite know who potentially is going to take it.
So I do think IDGAF comes in here as slight favorites. They're the old middle Meepo team, which has been a first of team in South Africa for quite a bit. And we saw a brief stint of them in the qualifiers against Pingu, which was one of the favorites. And they were competing very well. Like that was like 2 games that could have gone either way. The guys were looking strong. But MWG, Montwoods Gaming, also been around the block. They've been playing so many tournaments. Like it's been amateur tournaments and stuff like that. But that's kind of like we being molded in the fire type of vibe. Like they're playing in these amateur tournaments, they're grinding it out, and they're playing hard. So Montwoods Gaming definitely also contenders. I think it's going to be a highly contested match. So like I'm very curious to see what these teams are going to prioritize from a pick perspective, because we saw a bit of a patch drop this morning, 7.29D. There was, I don't think it was like a hectic nerf patch. It was a balance patch. So a balance patch is pretty. It could cause some things, because like Snapfire, arguably the most balanced hero, or the most like I want to Snapfire my team, also like the most contested pick for a lot of teams. Like we saw a little bit of a nerf to Little Shredder, saw a little bit of a nerf to Cookie there. I don't think it was enough to dismay people from picking the hero. I still think it can do exactly what it's supposed to do, but definitely it can be a factor. So and then we saw like Centaur. I think the Centaur nerf is going to be significant. I actually think the hero is Gutsa tier again. You have 90 seconds CD'd back to 100. The old was 120, and then it was kind of unplayable. So now it's back to 90 seconds. So yeah, definitely the patch drop is going to affect how these teams think and approach these games, and like who knows what's going to happen.
Sorry, I'm for whatever reason my camera and such is giving me a hard time, so just fixing it quickly in the background. But look, I was saying that with the new patch out immediately, so soon after the the qualifier starts, it's kind of a cool thing for me. I like the fact that we get to kind of enjoy something brand new right at the start of the tournament. Almost reset is like a bit of fresh air. I'm very curious to see how it'll work myself. Like, I do think the changes that they've done to Vanguard and stuff, I kind of find interesting, and we've been talking about that a little bit in the background. But to me, it's like a kind of a big deal, actually. Like, to me, things like the bristleback safe lane, for example, like off lane in particular, where they just would get these early vanguards just totally dominate the lanes. That feels a little bit harder in my mind for these heroes to pull off. Do you agree?
I do agree to an extent. I just think I still think the item is extremely strong. Like the percentage chance that remained the same, so the 60% chance to block is still very, very good. They did nerf the damage block factor, but the only reason that was done is because if a tower hits you and Vanguard blocks on the previous Vanguard, you don't take no damage. Like, no damage at all. It blocks more than what the tower does to you. And that kind of takes the enemy team's safety away if you're the one running at them. Because, hey, I'm by my tower, I'm supposed to be safe. And now, like, the Vanguard is just blocking all of the tower's damage.
Yeah.
So now the tower can actually hurt them a little bit. If you do get a block, there is some damage coming out from it. So it is an additional damage source. So you might not see people tower diving with a Vanguard, but I do still think the item is extremely good. The block chance is really good. We've been seeing a lot of like right clicky type of carries, like PLs come back. We've seen some Terrorblades, and Vanguard against those types of heroes are really good because Illusion's obviously less damage, and Vanguard just gives you that protection from them.
Yeah, well, anyways, we still have quite a bit of time to kill before the game actually goes live. That'll be at 12:30. So I think let's take a moment just to appreciate, where we came from as well. I mean, I think South African Dota up until very recently has been in a bit of a tough place. We haven't had many major tournaments going on. We haven't had a huge amount of, I'd say, premier level tournament interest. I think you obviously had your age-old guys that are sticking around, but EGL was really a breath of fresh air to come and re-engage and reinvest in a community that I think has proven itself to be actually quite special. I mean, there's been a lot of controversy and criticism in the past, but I do feel that the community has stepped up and done a lot of positive things in the last little while. We have a lot of community cups, a lot of life being brought back from this in the form of more community casters and such. I really do think we're on a very good trajectory at the moment, and it's nice to see that kind of thing happening. And of course, esports is the cherry on the top of all of that. It's the reward almost for some community building and for making a bit of a difference with our scene. And of course, it's so important that we do get behind things like esports. And I'm now not speaking as an esports caster. I'm really talking about as a Dota fan in South Africa. Getting behind these kind of events is going to be monumental for the success of our community. And I do think that we just need to keep on this trajectory, keep doing the same as we have the last little while, and we're going to be fighting fit again. But
something that I'm extremely excited about is like these types of tournaments are breeding grounds for players to potentially go overseas or make it internationally, or even have a team like making it internationally, because without like competition again from the best teams in the country against each other on a big stage platform where that pressure is actually applied, you're not going to improve, or you're not going to improve as a team. And for the South African Dota scene specifically, to like, because we have international players, let's be fair, like Castaway went and did it, Whelp went and did it, like Frank or Grove was in Southeast Asia for a bit. So there are players that are doing it, but these types of tournaments, we'll be able to get those guys into higher positions from a local perspective. Like, they're going to be like made here and then go over, instead of like these individuals that are going over and like playing themselves into big teams. And like, props to them, like that's a massive achievement. But how nice would it be if we can, like, whoever takes this tournament, the Evesports EGL One champion, like decides, well, our team is good enough, let's go overseas, and they make some waves.
Alright, well, getting back into this one, there is another game going on at the moment as well. It's probably worth mentioning. Of course, EGL going to have quite a few matches that are huge ones to look forward to. In this case, there's an interesting one between Sinister5 and Hayes Gaming. I believe we know the draft for those, so we'll keep you in the loop with how those games progress and what the scorelines are, or if there's anything particularly interesting. But for the time being, it looks like nothing too crazy coming out from Sinister5 just yet. I mean, in the sense that like they're doing the standard gyrocops, no techies or anything like that. But Hayes actually have a Meepo,
Yeah,
which I thought was interesting.
And a Pudge. So, yeah, Hayes Gaming drafted Pudge and Meepo against N5. Like, that Pudge was probably a deny pick because they don't want Frank to get it. And then, but N5 drafted in solid lineup, like you said, nothing like what is the cheese coming out here. It's just like a Centaur, Storm Spirit, Clockwork, Gyrocopter, and an IO. So that's a game that's going on the side. Interesting to keep tabs on that. Like HellbirDza said, like we'll probably like update scores as that game is going along. But yeah, Sin 5 the favorites in that matchup, HellbirDza?
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
Or does the Meepo sway you?
No, I think that if we're going to talk just with God's favorites, I definitely do think that Hayes are the underdogs in the matchup. I will say this much, though. We've seen Sinister5 in the past, obviously a different look lineup, fall to some teams you'd expect them to be consistently good against in the past. So I do believe that it's entirely possible for a side like Hayes to give us a surprising outcome. But it's very hard in a best of 3 in particular, because taking one game off your opponent is always, if it's something like Sinister5, you can feel really good about it. You can phone home, Mom, did it. Took a game of Sinister5.
It puts your foot in the door. Like, it puts like kind of like this brand on you that this team beats Sin5 in like one of the games. Like we saw what happened with Duck last year. They were the only team able to take a game off Sin5 in the qualifiers for one of the tournaments, and then suddenly everyone was like, "Holy shit! Like Duck must be a contender." So it does put a bit of hype around your team, but it also brings some confidence. Like you just took a game of one of the best teams in the country. If we can iron out all our little kinks and perform like that every single game, we're going to be really good. So yeah, let's not count any chickens before they hatch. There is a Meepo and a Pudge, so like you never know what's gonna happen. Like we saw what happened last night with the Pudge. It was a bit of a wonky series, but we saw
the
some.
Pudge was crazy actually. Something, I mean, obviously not one of the teams are playing tonight, but since Pudge is on our lips at the moment, the Aether Lens shard was incredible actually. The amount of save, it actually did more work saving heroes than the Oracle did. Let's be honest.
Yeah, because obviously the cooldown is like 10 seconds when you eat an ally, so the dismember cooldown is reduced as well. But like there were so many little mechanics that you can exploit that he was using with the Pudge. Like he was using the range creep pull, which today was patched out. You can't do that anymore. And then he was soul ringing before he would hook bounty runes to get additional mana back. Like those are little like mechanical plays that just keeps your hero on the map for longer stretches in the game. So definitely some high plays by Sin5. But I think we're straying a bit away from the two teams that we're going into this series tonight, like the Montwoods Gaming and the IDGAF. Do you have a favorite here?
I think I'd also, I mean, we've slightly touched on this. I do believe that IDGAF are the side I would back going into this one. That is somewhat based on their performances against other teams I hold in high regard. So it is slightly biased from that perspective. Montwood, we did cast a little bit of during the qualifiers, and I was fairly impressed with their ability to, well, get the basics right. You know, in the game that we were playing, they made some good decisions. They were able to intelligently keep their lanes pushed out and make the correct kind of rotations you were looking for in their matchups. So from that side of things, they were quite good. But IDGF is, it's more so about who they've performed against. You know, it's easier to do those kind of things, those basics, when there's not a huge amount of pressure on you. Yeah. And I think IDGF may put more pressure on Montwood than they experienced with the matches that we cast before. So if they can keep doing those things, then they're probably in with a shot here. But I would kind of see this like 70-30 odds to IDGF. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, 70-30 or 60-40. I do think IDGF put up like performances against decent sides as well. Like we saw them beat BSL, Bononi Liquid 2-1 in their series as well. BSL is kind of like our up and coming team, in the South African scene. Like they're putting in the grind, they're putting in the work, and they're slowly but surely getting better and better. Like they're at a stage where if someone says BSL, they like people know who they're talking about. So like their team is starting to get a bit of awareness, and some of the bigger teams are taking note of them. Like I'm seeing, like the Duck boys know exactly what's going on in that team. Like Fury and his squad, like they kind of pay attention to the BSL squad as well. I don't think they expect to lose against them, but they are taking note of them. Like these guys are improving at an alarming rate. We need to like not take them lightly because then we're going to mess up. So, and IDGAF is a team that beat BSL 2-1. So obviously it went to a third game. That series was highly contested in the qualifier. But yeah, it just shows the caliber of IDGAF. Like they can, if they can grind out a 2-1 victory, and those are the hard games, Albert. Like that third game, it's BO1. Like who's going to take it? Are you going to choose it and hang the balance of your fate on a weird pick, or are you just going to try and outplay your opponent?
Well,
So,
I love that you brought that up because we were chatting about this yesterday as well. Is that it's been such a long time since I've seen a cheese strat, or a cheese draft, or a pocket strat more particularly. And I kind of feel that South African Dota has emulated the international scene where people don't as commonly pick up strats that are just, meant to play around. Okay, the last pick Broodmother, but you've made your opponents purposely pick everything that can't deal with her, and now you're just going to rely on that one hero and everyone else is just there to spectate. But even more than that, Dota itself has changed. So we had seen, when you think about fountain hooks and the time when something like a Husker Oracle was a real like pocket strat. Nowadays we've seen most of these things, they've become normalized. So instead of it being something that's hard to deal with because you don't see it, we actually know. It's why I think you don't see as much Meepo. It's just that it's supposed to be a surprise pick that freaks everyone out, but there are so many Meepo players now that it's no longer difficult to play against for most professional teams.
It's just in a weird place though, because the thing is, like, there's so much team fighting going on at the moment. Like, there's so much team fights abilities. Like, all the heroes that have introduced new into Dota, like Mars, Snapfire, Hoodwink, all these heroes are good against Meepo. Like, the game is like being pushed into more of a team fight thing. Like, when last did we see a split push draft? Like, you don't get those anymore because they don't work. Like, the game is forcing you into fighting. Like, the most mechanical skilled team will probably win. So. And Meepo is just a hero that doesn't like that. He wants to jump onto one target and kill it, and then jump onto another target and kill it. He doesn't want to get caught by a Mars ulti or a Hoodwink, like latch to trees, or any Snapfire Mortimer's Kisses, like just AoE splash damage. So yeah, like the game is like, I like it though. Like more fighting, more entertainment, better for us.
Well, I was going to say, I actually think that there's now, the game has changed again back to a position where I think creativity is being rewarded considerably more. And I do think we're going to start seeing with these new look heroes we have, the new shards, we're going to slowly start seeing the opportunities for some sort of cheesy pocket strat or something like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what South African Dota and International Dota can do. But more importantly, we are underway. So for those of you who are tuning in live through the game, for those of you who are on the stream and waiting for it, I think it's about time that we say officially welcome to EGL One, because this is the first matchup here of the main event. And it's going to be IDGAF versus Montwoods Gaming ZALZ. I'm really looking forward to this. They're flying through the bands already. We've got the Center Warrunner, Puck, Broodmother, and a Meepo. Surprise, surprise. Promise we had nothing to do with it. Banned out early on.
What
and the
is going on?
They don't agree with you, notAhero. They just think that, what do you know?
I understand the Broodmother ban though. I think the hero, even though with the nerf this morning, is still extremely strong with how the changes were implemented onto her. But then a Meepo ban, like obviously these teams know each other, because that's not something you just take out like first phase if the other team doesn't play it. So the Centaur ban pretty standard. The Puck ban, I wouldn't say it's that standard anymore. The heroes kind of like started to fade away in popularity, but I do still think it's extremely strong. Clockwork, very nice pickup. But then we see a Wind Ranger pick, like first pick Wind Ranger. I guess they're doing it as a flex, like could be like 4-3 or mid Wind Ranger. It's just a bit of a weird one. Montwoods Gaming then opt to go with an AA. This hero has blown into popularity. It was nerfed as well in the 7.29D, but I don't like the AA. That's just my personal opinion. It's seen a lot of popularity in the pro scene and our local scene. I just think the hero is food for certain heroes, such as a Riki, for instance. And yeah, like Riki, Wind Ranger Riki openers, like this is extremely interesting. And then they take up Bristleback. Obviously, because of the Riki, they want him to have a good lane. Riki does reduce damage to Bristleback when he does his backstab or blink strike.
10 seconds remaining.
So yeah, just trying to secure the Riki's lane. So that's definitely a safe lane Riki. If they're taking out a Bristleback instead, we see a Pit Lord and a Mars and then a Slardar, like instantly. Like these guys have done their homework, Helbert.
Yeah, so I'm quite interested about this. I think Mars is a particularly interesting ban as well, because to me, I do still think the jury's still out on how big the Vanguard change is going to be. And Mars is a offlaner who doesn't actually want to go Vanguard. So to me, that elevates his value in in that offlane position. So I quite like the ban as well. Just make sure he's not around, not going to be causing any issues for the side of Montwoods Gaming. So I'm keen on that one. But the Slaughter as well, that is its own right is the same kind of thing, where it's a hero that doesn't necessarily need the Vanguard, but still very tanky.
The Riki's lane though, like it's just for the Riki. Like they don't want Slaughter against the Riki because of the gross phase. They don't want Bristleback against the Riki because it's naturally good. So they're just trying to make sure the Riki has a good game, which is not a bad strategy to go with. They just need to watch out they don't ban like heroes that they like might end up wanting to take. They take the Medusa out on top of it, and then I don't know. This Wind Ranger Riki opener is this throw me for a curveball, and then Montwood responded with 2 supports. So the drafts are pretty wonky at the moment. They do then take a Darkseer, ban an Oracle. This Oracle's a counter to Darkseer in the lane, purges the Iron Shells. I don't know if that's worth banning an Oracle because they've shown a Riki Wind Ranger pick, but I guess they just want to get online, and it's pretty good against Clockwork as well. And they've got some combo, like you can do some vacuums into air blasts, vacuum people into cogs. So there's definitely some synergy here from Montwood Gaming side.
I think it's possible that Clock isn't. I mean, it feels like it has to be a fort as well now because they've got the Darkseer, but potentially we could see like the A run. I mean, I feel like they've been trying to move A into a core for a while. It's just no one's catching on, right? It's like we saw you trying to do Valve, but we just don't want to do it.
It's been tried. I picked it for Cloud last year as well to try and like because you can do this, and it was just we won the game, but it was horrible. Like he just didn't enjoy it. The Grimstroke is nice. Grimstroke Riki combo. They do have a little bit of synergy already with it, like the Riki smoke, like coming out from the 2 targets that are latched together. Wind Ranger could potentially do like a little double shackle shot, so nothing major yet. It will give Montwood Gaming like maybe a bit of thoughts about something like a Doom pick. Doom pretty good against Darkseer. You can wait for him to surge. You can actually purge off the surge target with Doom because it has a purge. And yeah, like there's definitely options for IDG AF at the moment because. Like you can do Doom, Grimstroke. We saw Center 5 run that. Like every time they got Grimstroke, they picked Doom instantly, just for double Dooms. And Doom doesn't really care about like AA that much. Doesn't really care about Darkseer that much. Spectre. I like it. I guess it's a hero that can like help Clockwork hunt when he has ulti. Iron Shell is obviously significant in that combination. And
they're also progressively becoming more purple.
Like you have red Clockwork and then blue into purple. So
yeah. So what's more purple than Spectre? Or maybe something that's like black. Like I mean, what is Doom?
I guess you can throw like Night Stalker into the mix. Like that'll fit the color scheme, but not important. The Spectre is a hard one though. Like, cause it's definitely gonna outfarm the Riki. And they don't really have much to deal with that at the moment. Wind Ranger hates playing against Spectre because Spectre goes this Blade Mail build. And like he can't ever focus fire the Spectre because of Dispersion plus Blade Mail. There's just way too much damage.
10 seconds remaining.
And yeah, Spectre can climb onto the Grimstroke and the backlines. He can kill him pretty easily. I like the Spectre pick. It gives the draft a bit of a win condition, which they needed. I like the win condition. IDGAF don't really have a win condition yet unless the Riki gets completely out of control. But they need another hero to kind of secure if this hero has a good game, like we will probably win the game. So
I'm actually wondering for IDGAF if they don't consider something like Viper. The thing is, I hate, okay, now tell me I'm being naughty and bad Helbert, I'll put my paw out or something, but I really feel like Silver Edge is just a trash item.
Yeah,
Oh,
I wanted
has-
to say the same thing now. Yeah, it just,
Oh,
they
okay,
just
so
don't
it got
have
banned.
one.
Okay, because I was gonna say, yeah, sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Silvers is horrible. Like, since they took the Echo Saber out of it, like the item it's just bad. You
Yeah.
never want to build a Silver's Edge. Like, you would rather want
10
a Skadi
seconds
that reduces
remaining.
regen or a Shiva's Guard that reduces regen. And these heroes
5
with
seconds
breaks have become
remaining.
more valuable. We
Mm.
saw it when I had the conversation with Jeeves as
back.
well. Every time there was a Spectre or Bristleback and Viper was banned, he was like, well, I guess they have to pick Hoodwink because her ulti breaks. And without having, like, because you don't want to build like Silver's Edge. You would rather draft a hero into your draft with break
Yeah.
than have a Silver's Edge. Like,
Exactly. No, it's weird. It's also, sorry, if we're gonna go there for a moment, when there's also a comment that BSJ made actually, and I'm not sure if he said it was when we were on stream or behind the scenes, but he made the comment about that it becomes a lot easier when you know when you have a role and you just need to play that role. So he was talking about at the time talking about the concept of where the
compartments, yeah.
and that does help as well when you pick something like a Hoodwink into this kind of draft and you say, cool, your job is to ulti the Spectre, and then you know that in that team fight, everything else, that's your job, is to make sure that happens. But with that said, like, Spectre's actually kind of difficult with those kind of skills as well, because with a Viper, it's a throwaway spell. You miss it, like, it's unfortunate. You don't have a huge cooldown. Hoodwink, it's an ulti that has a wind-up effect as well, so not ideal. But regardless, let's see how IDGAF responds, because they don't even have a hero that wants to pick up Silver Edge anyways. So they're going to have to rely on BKBs if they want to deal with this at the moment. And the only hero that I think is safe is the Ricky.
I've seen
Like-
some Ricky Silver Edges. Like, I know it's like you're not getting it for the invis, but I've seen it.
That sounds like you're trolling. Like,
No, I've
if
seen
somebody
it.
built a Silver Edge Ricky in my pub, I would be very displeased.
I guess Wind Ranger can get silvers. It's not that bad because you have the Oblivion staff that goes into it now, and it's just like intel and mana regen. So, like, she is probably someone they can pick it up. But then Spectre just pops Blade Mail, and then she needs a BKB as well. So it's kind of always like this what if. Guess DK can go silvers as well.
He actually probably
great.
is one. It's not great, but he is actually probably one hero who can. But I don't like it in this draft. Like, I know that Montwood
gave him
don't have a lot of magic. That's
Tower
one thing.
push. Give him some tower push. But I don't like it as well. I agree with you.
It's just uninspired, right? Because, like, sure,
5
you
seconds
don't have much magic on the side of Montwood, but A is actually pretty handy with regards to that, and it's also fairly effective against the Dragon's Blood. So, like, it just feels like, we'll just stick that there. Like, it's okay, we'll use the
The plus
DK.
side is though, like, Montwood Gaming doesn't have any like real D push, and every time DK pops this dragon form, he's not really under threat by any of these heroes. Like, Clockwork can hookshot him and AA can ulti him. He's not gonna die from that. Like, he's just gonna stand there and like run away. So every time he pops dragon form, they don't really have anything to defend their towers on a big scale. And the Dragonite illusion is also not that scary. So
Rubik.
what are they picking here?
Is that a mid
Rubik.
Rubik? You know what's interesting about that is I was trying to think to myself, like, what hero do you pick mid? Because you kind of want something like a Quap or something, but Quap doesn't, as you were saying, it doesn't get into the position where it can D-push nicely. Actually, hold
I don't
on a
know. I
second.
don't like this Rubik pick.
I don't necessarily think that's a core Rubik. I think that may be a mid AA. I'm not sure who plays who on their team, so
I
makes it a
like
little bit.
that even less. I like that even less. I know he's going to get an early level 6 and then he can probably make a bit of pressure on the map. But how are they going to keep their towers alive? Like, Spectre wants to just farm for like 20 minutes straight.
I'll tell you this much:
but-
if Rubik picks a power shot, they'll keep or breathe fire. Then they're golden. Because the nice thing about Rubik is the deep push. But like, I don't think that's a mid Rubik. I'm very curious to see what happens out here. But the one thing I will say about Rubik is that it does answer a couple of the questions when it comes to magic. The thing I don't like about the Rubik is my question before the pick was actually going to be, what do they do about the fact that there's so much silence working against them? And heroes like Queen of Pain, that might have been an option, for example. She hates silence, So when you have the Grimstroke and the Ricky, you can silence you and potentially get on top of you without even realizing that you're in a lot of trouble from that perspective. So, okay, well, let's see how... I want to see this. Where are you, Rubik? What's your story? No, that's just a...
Yeah,
That's some
no,
mid
it's,
Rubik.
Is victory.
AA's got 2. Yeah, AA's got 6 tangos. He's definitely a support.
that's
a mid
a-
Rubik. I don't like it. Like there's so many other heroes that could have completed your draft. They could have picked Timbersaw in this game and like just dumpster the Dragon Knight lane, you could have picked Kunkka. Razor destroys DK in the lane. It gives you like some team fight. So here they can build like additional items apart from the Darkseer. Huskar, like you've got the A on your side. Like there was just like like they were better heroes in my opinion. If he makes it work, he makes it work. Maybe it's a staple, maybe it's a comfort. He's got the 2 Mantle of Intelligence queued up, so probably double mortality build, which we haven't seen quite a bit. Just because bottle rush is so important. But yeah, this Dragon Knight's going to, if this DK plays well, he's gonna destroy this Rubik lane because he can breathe fire and then just kind of like deny the creeps because he's got a better attack animation. And even if Rubik hits him back with the Fate Bolt, like he doesn't really care. Like he can secure his range creep with the breathe fire and just control the wave. So are the teams gonna contest this?
Yeah, so
Friendly exchange.
it's just a gentlemanly agreement. You take those 2, we'll take those 2, and then we'll call it a day. Of course, that'll only last so long because they're going to get a lot angrier in a little while. So, okay, let's chat lanes for just a moment. Obviously, for those on the stream, you can just pay. You know, we'll give you the rundown in the meanwhile. But bottom lane, it's going to be a Ricky Grimstroke. I really do like that lane. Actually, I think it's quite a strong one. But going into the Clockwork Darkseer, it's if you mess that up, you're dead.
Yeah, the thing is, Darkseer is pretty good against Ricky in the lane. Usually what most carries like a Ricky would do in this scenario is start the lane with double ring of regen. He hasn't opted for that, so he's going to burn through these tangos really quickly. Like the double ring of regen, level 1 and 2 Iron Shell under your tower doesn't really like do any damage to you because you've got enough regen. You can just sell them later on, they're pretty cheap. So double ring of regen against a lane like this is what I would have done, but he opted for Orb of Venom. But Clockwork, I like what Clockwork's doing here. Like he doesn't even have boots in either that. He has a windlace. Like he pulled the creep wave backwards because they know that Darkseer's got a power spike level 2 and level 3. So they want to get levels of Iron Shell as high as possible, and then this Ricky's gonna have a horrible time. So just little smart plays by the Clockwork. By Tranquilo bringing it back there, giving the Darkseer the XP. You can see he left the lane as well to give him the XP by itself.
You're doing a nice bit of work here and just keeping Egg as far off this as possible. So Billy, he's doing it right here as well. Got 6-0, but that is still a lane going the way of the Ricky. He's sitting on 7-3, so getting a little bit more out of it. Mid lane though, it's going to be that Rubik DK matchup. I find this is pretty fascinating to me because I don't like Rubik particularly into the Grimstroke and the Ricky because there's just so much silence from
like,
with.
Yeah, but I like Rubik against Grimstroke a lot because anything you steal from him is value, and being a core, you're going to do a lot of damage.
Granted.
Stroke of Fate, Silence, Inkswell, the ultimate, anything that he steals from is value for his team. So this top lane is what I'm the most baffled about. Like having Wind Ranger and Sanking. Like this is like a 2018 lane. Like remember when Wind Ranger was like the POS 4 in 2018?
Yeah.
And you would combo it with Sanking and it's just like stun into a shackle into a power shot. Oh, wait.
They actually get an engagement on Smoky Vega in the top lane, and they should be able to finish the job. PCM going to be left to kill as well. That's actually a really nice bit of control. They were.
It's really awkward. That was really awkward. Did you see the Sanking like went for the body block, but then the AA kind of gave up, and he ended up like body blocking nothing. It was just a little bit of a awkward first blood.
Regardless, though, I appreciate that they knew they had to kill, so they just let it happen, opposed to putting too much pressure. But now this does make things even more interesting because Ricky is, for the time being, good here in the bottom lane. He's got no pressure on really, but they need to put on an enormous amount of pressure on top to try to convince Clockwork to move out of this. But if I were Tranquilo, I don't necessarily think I'd bite. It's not great for your spec, for sure, but if you can get an early 6 o'clock by pulling out a lone Ricky and making and making sure that this I can see he immediately goes onto the Ricky. Nice little bit of work there with Tricks of the Trade, but the point is you're trading out the farm on the Ricky. You need earlier than the Spectre, so the Spectre can wait a little longer.
I don't like this rotation by the Grim. Like your Ricky has gone all with corrosion. his entire build is screaming, "I want to fight," and they have left him. Against Darkseer, a hero that you kind of want to shut down between levels 1 and 4, and now Darkseer is just gonna have free XP. Just Clockwork can leave him. Like, Darkseer will destroy this Ricky lane now. Clockwork can go stack, he can try and kill middle, which Rubik is actually trying to do by himself. He's not gonna kill the Dragon Knights.
He's got a Fate build. Actually, he's...
3 levels of Dragon Blood, it's too tanky. You can get a raindrop if he feels threatened, but this Rubik is really bullying him on the CS perspective. Like, really bullying him.
27 and 7 versus 19 and 2. And he's got the bottle up as well, so he gets the water rune early on. Yeah, look, I don't like it. I'm with you. It's just...
Look at their XP.
And bottom lane, they're actually going to potentially pick up the kill on the Ricky here. They do manage to surge up Tranquilo. He's going to just start running him down. He's used tricks already. He's uses a nice blink onto the other side, but it's irrelevant. He's brought down anyways. And now it's worse, right? Because I was thinking in my mind is like, if you cost both these cores 5 minutes, Spectre's happy with that. Like, okay, like I'll be delayed by 5 minutes, but my supports are going to be stronger, and there's going to be more pressure on the map caused by my Darkseer and my Clockwork, because I'll have high levels, right? But now, if you're going to die in that lane...
I would have done the trial in the other direction. Leave the Sanking solo and just bully the Darkseer. Like, make him not have a game.
Agreed, because
it's a bad movement.
If you can force that rotation, I actually far prefer it, because Sanking will have a field day up against Spectre in this lane. But right now, SPD, he's not even slowing down the man. He's 26 and 0. It's not that bad at all. He's ahead of the Ricky. This is like, fix this, please.
They're not getting kills. The supports are not stacking. They're not making movements on the map. They're just sitting here now taking the Sanking's XP. And like, what are the... There's no threat here. Like, what, stun with Inkswell, I guess, and then into a shackle shot. There we go. But
I was gonna say he's not even playing that kind of build. He's not even like a particularly it's not like it's not great. Actually, SPD though, he's overstayed his welcome a little bit, and he does take quite a bit of damage. They're gonna connect with the Stroke of Fate, but it's not enough damage to bring him down. And a surged up Clockwork. This is a beautiful bit of play actually. Surged up from the bot lane, gets on top of PCM. He will be able to Burrow Strike out of it. They're not gonna be able to bring him down, but it just feels like this is some nice little bit of work here. I really appreciate that surge before the TP. It was also pretty much at the last moment you saw, because he hit the ground with plenty of time on that surge.
Yeah. It was very well done. Actually, the Sanking was the target that he caught there. I think if he caught anyone else, that would have been a kill.
Oh, Smoking Vega. I'm not sure what that was about. He's still moving forward. Certainly a bit of miscommunication, and Tranquilo now in trouble here. They're going to Iron Shell him. Sorry, not Iron Shell. They're going to Inkswell up the Sanking, and he can probably bring down SPD here with a little bit more work. Goes wide, the power shot will miss as well. They're trying to track him down, and he goes the right way. Tranquilo needing to get out of his way. He realizes it and tries to do just that. Unable to do so. They bring in Battle Drone though. The Rubik is here. He gets off the Breathe Fire onto Helsinki as well. And Helsinki now has to back off Belda a little bit by the Stroke of Fate. Breathe Fire still in call with the Fade Bolt. It is they just need some vision. Although a healing self has been popped in Helsinki. He still has enough damage potentially. He wants to try and do the damage onto Egg, but look at him just deleting the creep wave. He's going to be farmed, hey? This is a dream game for a Rubik from that perspective. There's so many spells you just delete creep waves with.
Got the Grimstroke. Just a little lag. He's got the boots up, he got the Grimstroke. And he's going to get 2 bounty runes. Well, all that was going on, the Ricky solo killed the Darkseer. Like, I don't know how that happened. Like, I have no idea how that happened.
That is peculiar. I mean, you can see in lane at the moment that Billy has no problem standing his ground. Maybe he got greedy or something, but he's got a little bit of support this time. Potentially looking for a re-engagement because they did bring down the Grimstroke. So once again, the lane's a little bit odd, but a lot of pressure being put onto this mid tower. He's got to be careful with the courier because he's bringing it straight back onto MVP. And MVP, he wants it. Won't be able to kill with just one shot, and he darts around a little bit, and he should be just fine. But Helsinki will pick up Smoking Vega in the top lane. Sport kill on sport kill.
Just like a bit of chaos on the map. I don't know. I'm not sure what this rotation onto the Dragon Knight was. Like, Clockwork Rubik is not going to kill this level 8 DK with 3 levels into Dragon Blood. I like what the DK is doing. He's going trades into Blink Dagger. Like, that's kind of his role this game. So that's the correct thing to do. Like, he needs to be able to move around the map, catch people. I'm just not sure where the damage is going to come from. I guess Ricky is a
top lane. They're going to catch up PCM. They do have the sentry down as well, so they make short work of the Sanking.
Such a weird game. Like the movements are like so erratic. Like the guys are just trying to like. It feels like the old roaming posits 4 meta. Like,
Oh,
here we
hold
go
on.
again.
Not allowed to talk because they do get the shackle shot out, and with the Phantasm out, it's more than enough damage to bring him down. They get a little bit of an assist from the Spectre. SPD, no chance for him there. And they're putting the pressure on the top lane. It's been a bit of an awkward top lane as the Inkswell comes out onto Helsinki. He's thinking about turning the clock, and why not? He's got the support coming in from PCM, who gets a beautiful double burrow strike, and he's going to get that into the... They cancel the epicenter! I'm a little surprised with that one. That looked good to me, but Tranquillo, he probably still gets beaten down here. The power shot! Okay, Helsinki wanted to make sure he was part of it.
That was a pretty sad death. Like he was just like hiding. I'm not. He just died. That was, yeah. It's such a wonky game. This top lane has just become such a battle. I don't want the Spectre to come back to this lane. If I'm SBD, I am leaving that lane now. I'm going bottom to farm against this Ricky. I think he's actually got the edge. How many levels does he have in Dispersion? He's got 2. He put 3 levels into Dagger. I guess in the lane that they are in, the 3 people constantly here, like dagger damage. If you hit 3 people, it's close to 500 damage. So that's a way of looking at it. Oh, bottom.
Once again, do get off the tricks of trade, so they get around the immediate engagement, but he wasn't actually get far enough onto the side of the cogs, so he gets brought down anyways. But the return is in top lane. Epicenter going through Beldrum. What do you steal? Still has the breathe fire actually, as they turn their attention back to him. He's silenced up now. That Phantom keeping him quiet, but MVP is backed up by Helsinki. Look at the damage from the Fade Bolt. Brings him down, and immediately MVP has to reconsider. It does have the Dragon Tail up, so potentially could turn on Beldrum here, and has support coming from Egg. Going to connect with the Stroke of Fate, but on the back line, their support is coming in, and they're going to bring in the Spectre with the ulti. Cold Feet onto MVP here. Maybe they can get an extra kill here. They're going to commit the wall as well, and why not? It is a 2-position DK. And in the end, that works out nicely from the SPD, who was brought down just before that, able to come back to lane, get some value. At the moment, although things are tight, that Spectre is keeping up with the Ricky, and to me, that's a significant issue.
Yeah, like Spectre should be going like he should be moving away from this lane. Like he keeps going back to this top lane. It's not his duty to keep it alive. Like
AA killed down by Ricky. Freitix.
Was that the Ice Blast of Sadness at the end there? Like didn't even hit anything, just like threw it. Like,
he was running out of time. I think he was just hoping to catch onto the Ricky. Ricky goes straight back onto SPD mid though, as MVP tries to just fright him away from the lane. So you're not allowed to farm here. He actually, this is different. Where does he farm around here? notAhero.
So yours, what is he going? Like he's going in this Blade Mail build. He's close to it. Like when he has Blade Mail, he needs to put more levels into Dispersion. Like that's his farming tool. I don't know why he's maxing Dagger. It's a big mistake. He needs to put more levels into Dispersion. Get his, like with the Blade Mail build, you want to get Dispersion. Like that's what makes it strong. And with more levels into Dispersion and the Blade Mail, he can actually farm Ancients. So he can farm the triangle area and he can move downwards. The tier 1 tower bottom is gone, and he can just feel safe. Like he's farming now. Farming now is adequate. As soon as his bot lane pushes in, he can move towards that. But yeah, he needs 2 points more in Dispersion. So level 9 will be his
Mid lane,
spike.
they're going to re-engage onto MVP. The A ulti will fly through and will connect nicely, but they have commit a fairly lengthy rotation. Egg doesn't get any backup just yet. They at least get some damage onto Bully as well as Tranquillo. But for 5 players for that one, that's like it's weird. You just kill the 2 position. I don't know if it's worth.
They can't push though. That's kind of like we spoke about their draft. They don't really have much push. They don't have much deep push as well. I guess the Rubik kind of gives them that now with this Breathe Fire. But they just killed the pos too. There's no one defending the tower. And what are they? They're going into the jungle looking for the Riki.
Might just find. They get the position there, but he scouted him out. And they have a sentry down. Interesting positioning as well. They want to try and find this Ricky, but Freitix has made a wise decision and backs off towards the other side of the map and immediately TPs out toward top lane wall. So this is good for him, nice decision, and we're going to keep him A-OK. As Smoking Vega and Co, at the very least they can take control here, but as you mentioned, they're not getting a lot out of this. PCM in the mid lane, he catches up Beldrum, and they shackled solid to they channel up the Epi, but I guess he was wagging his tail. He's happy. Gets vacuumed straight back in. They do get the ulti from Bully down as well. PCM should fall and does fall, but MVP, they don't really have damage to deal with him. Smoking Vegan Co. do have him on the run, but MVP is a tanky fellow. They follow him up towards the high ground. Gonna once again slow him down with the A, but hold on because he does have Egg in support, and Egg will have his ulti up soon. They're gonna toss up Inkball, but looks like they don't want any. Gonna back things off. They even have Freightix there. I'm super surprised they didn't go in there. Egg has Soulbind up now. In fact, now they're gonna take the fight underneath the tower. Tranquillo probably just looking to get the cogs down, push them back. That's exactly it. But
there was no threat, Helbird. There was no threat. This clockwork Fox here is not gonna kill this Dragonite. Like, he has Inkswell on him. Just fight. No, I don't know. It is a big game. It is a big game.
I was gonna say maybe the nerves. Oh, hold on, mid lane. You hear the Burrow Strike come through on that epi, and they do now bring down the Rubik. He just came back in. Tranquillo also in trouble here. Can potentially get out of this, and might just as everyone's bouncing around his cogs. We've got to be careful. There's a lot of long range nuke on the Wind Ranger as well as the Grimstroke, but the mid tower will fall at the very least. And MVP without the Dragon form still looking pretty adventurous down this mid lane. Will now turn his attention towards his opposing jungle. But that's healthy. I think that's good. Like, if you are IDGAF, you're in a pretty positive mood right now. I imagine this is good, other than the fact that I think the spec is probably a little bit close for comfort to that Ricky. But you are starting to take some map control, which is probably most important.
At the moment, the Ricky is obviously much stronger because he's got his Diffusal Blade. Spectre, he's got max dispersion now with the Blade Mail. He can start farming Ancients. He's not even in that vicinity. He's top trying to fight, which I don't like. His hero needs to farm.
I also want to point out as well, Billy can't get involved in that. So this support Wind Ranger that they go on, that's a very long range hook shot. They do have the AA blast on top of it. They don't even need it. Tranquillo does the work. They get the Inkswell off onto MVP, which is going to be commit onto the DK. They get the Soulbind off onto 2, but it's not going to be enough. They finish the job regardless. What do you steal, Baron? He actually got Dragon Tail. Probably not great for a Rubik, but... Oh, do you know Rubik gets... Oh no, Freightix on the back lines. He isn't able to get the kill just yet. Will finally commit to him. Is he... There's no reveal. Oh, there is. They do have it, and they do bring him down. That is not worth it all.
Tranquillo on this clockwork is like carrying this team on his shoulders at the moment. Like, his hook shots are good. He's always got dust on him. He's the one carrying a smoke as well. He's going a 4-staff next. So, making very good rotations, very good calls. They are getting their spec involved in these kills, and I guess the Ricky kill was nice, but like the Wind Ranger kill was pretty minute. So yeah, he's gonna start falling behind. Like, as you can see, Sankey's above him on network, Ricky's above him on network, Darkseer, Rubik.
The top lane, they're gonna catch up Rubik again. This is a massive problem. Battledrome's not having a game anymore.
Yeah, he's died 3 times in a row now, and he's the most farmed net within the game. Like, it's just that's kind of like he went awkward.
He's probably going for the... Yeah, I was going to say now. I was actually looking for this earlier, but at level 10 he didn't skill his talent. Sorry, all that thought. They go back in. Beautiful cogs, splitting him aside from his teammates. But the backline was covered by Freightix and MVP, and they go straight back in. Billy as well, Tranquillo will get the ulti down from Darkseer, and they get the DK form as well. Tranquillo charging down PCM is able to finish the job. Got to be careful though. Freightix does have support from Helsinki. It looks like the Ricky is not too keen on taking this fight, though. Starts backing off, and they're going to catch out the Wind Ranger. This is a little bit odd. Now he goes back, he gets the smoke down as well. They'll bring down Tranquillo, but in comes the Spectre. Can he make something of this? He actually doesn't do much damage just yet, and he's not going to really threaten the DK. Change targets. Going to do nothing to him. Freightix in the background. That Diffusal's up now, and he may just want to turn this one around potentially. This DK is not going to die, right? Like, yeah, you're not killing him.
Yeah,
he's out of there.
It's very awkward engagements. Like, it's so awkward at the moment. I'm not sure. And Spectre once again joining these fights for like no real value. He ulted in. Was he part of a kill there, Helbird?
No, he ulted in at the end of the fight and tried to bring down the DK, and DK of course just said like, nah. I mean, he's not scared of the Spectre at all. He's the one hero that doesn't care. I mean, he's so tanky. He's got the Dragon Blood that in its own right is almost a counter to dispersion. So he just doesn't care. He's going to regen the damage. He's going to run away. And the only thing that really threatens him right now is a combination of the clockwork and the AA. There is a fair amount of magic damage. But he's going for the BKB, and while Gonna catch out one here as
Rubik
Freatrix
again.
is running around that sentry, but this Rubik's not allowed to be alive, man. MVP,
Snake is getting
what
involved
a
again.
shackle! Triple red fire, and in comes the Burrow Strike. Could have been better, but it's gonna be more than enough. The Burrow Strike was followed up with an MP, and they do manage to do a lot of damage to two of the cores here. You're gonna bring down the Darks here. Tranquillo, he's trying to hunt down MVP. Pass shot on the high ground. They're looking to finish off the Spectre. SBD also in trouble. He's trying to head back. Gets caught on the absolute tail of the Stroke of Fate. And in comes Freatrix with the Ink Swell on him. And he'll finish off Tranquillo as well. 4 for just... Oh, hold on. Hold on. Could be more. It could be enough to bring on Freatrix. He actually doesn't have any tricks to trade. Yeah, he's done. Nice bit of work there. MVP was just shy as well. Swinging Vegas, still keen, does a little bit of damage to Helsinki. In comes Belgium, finally gets a chance to potentially play. What did he steal? He stole the breathe fire, and that's enough to finish the kill. Now he turns his attention to Helsinki. Not going to catch him for sure, but I don't like this Orchid build. This man keeps dying.
I don't like it at all. Like for him to use it, he needs to get obviously he's got the cast range buff from this passive. But it's just not good. Like, if this is kind of what you want your role to be, and there's nothing like, what do you really want to be orchiding? Like, why is the orchid there? Like, for what hero specifically? I guess Riki, that's alright. But then why not just get E-Blade instead of an orchid? And then you steal a spell like Breathe Fire, E-Blade someone, and like do a buttload of damage.
Oh, interesting. Never mind. I thought there was a Sand King about to blink or something because I heard the Ink Swell, but it was just on the siege creep for whatever reason.
This Wind Ranger is not going like Javelin at all. Like we've seen this in the past. Like support Wind Rangers not like prioritizing like.
Oh,
damage
hold on!
from
They've
their
caught out
ultimate.
Frey towards the mid lane, and they do silence him up, but he gets the Ink Swell, so he's able to run away. They're not going to be able to finish the job. Billy trying to follow down MVP. ALT will connect onto him as they still are trying to find a kill. They managed to pick up the Grimstroke. He did get the Soulbind out though. Power shot flies through from Helsinki, and this tier 1 tower still stands on it. They should be able to bring it down this time at the very least. But beware, PCM, Blink
again though.
Oh yeah, this is a beautiful Burrow Strike coming up with the epicenter. Huge amount of damage comes on SVD. He stays alive for the time being though. MVP right in the middle of things here. Might actually go down and does. Beautiful little work there in the end. Freatrix, he is dusted up. He's trying to get away. Nice bit of fancy footwork extension to the other side. But Tranquillo is trying to finish the job here. He's level 17, running away from level 14 Clockwork. I don't blame him. He's been that good. Really trying to find him. Not able to connect onto him though as he starts backing up towards his own wall. He's going to get silenced up, but Tranquillo comes in with a hookshot, catches out Egg inside the cogs, and that's going to be enough to finish the job onto the Grimstroke. Freatrix, last man standing. They just lost 4. Well, they'll turn this one around, and they'll take 4 of their own. And it was pretty good. The only real problem is that the 2 men that died or didn't die in these fights, the one being the Spectre, he died in both of them, and Ricky didn't die in either.
Spectre is just fighting too much. Like he doesn't have items. Like he's picked up the Diffusal Blade now after that fight, but during the fight he didn't have the Diffusal yet. I also don't like the Diffusal build at the moment.
No, once again, every time I try to speak, I just see some action. I mean, this has actually been crazy. Think about the fact that both sides here are getting more than a kill a minute. It's frantic Dota.
Like there's no farming patterns, no nothing. It's just like running at each other non-stop. Like I'm actually gonna go back to the last test chart. Like what is the last test sitting at? Like Darkseer and Sand King topping the charts, 130 and 122. Like yes, those heroes are flash farming heroes, but you don't expect to see that. Like you expect the POS ones to have the highest CS at this stage of the game because they're consuming the most of the map. It's just like too much action.
Especially with the Sand King, right?
Because the Sand King specifically.
The thing about this, PCM isn't actually pushing out lanes that much. On mid lane, they do get a beautiful vacuum on Egg in Helsinki, and Egg should be brought down here. Surely, eventually, slowly, now, done and dusted. Beautiful vacuum there. I mean, that's what we spoke about during the draft. That is a lovely combination.
Needs to change his name right now because every time you say Egg, I'm looking for a Phoenix. And
I don't know how to help you out.
Every time you say Egg, I'm looking for a Phoenix.
We'll call him Egg Stroke from now on. We'll see if we can keep it up.
Egg Stroke.
Yeah, in fact, we'll find options for him. Tranquillus, he's actually a huge game, right? Like, is this not the core? Is this not? I mean, no offense to Docs here. Like, Billy's got farm. He's, in fact, the most farm person on the map. So, to dispute his performance would be unfair. But Tranquillus being the best player in this game.
He's falling behind. Yeah, by far. Like, yeah, I don't think he's missed a single hook shot. His rotations has been on point. He's always had a dust on him. You can see he's got 2 on him again. He's
Bottom
got a,
lane,
he's got a
they're going to
4-star.
catch out the Spectre. He does get some support coming in. They do get a beautiful ALT that comes out. The support is coming in. Tranquillo! This time he does go wide. That was a blind hook shot though. So I tell you what, you can't blame him for that one. And he was just on Fredrix. And they're going to re-engage here. Tranquillo is caught out. In comes the Epi with the beautiful Burrow Strike. A lot of damage on the back lines, and they should be able to take this one. Tranquillo will fall here, and it's just pretty bad alive, and they're going to be able to control him. Silenced up. Stroke of Fate. Burrow Strike. Good night. 5-0.
The thing is, it's their Spectre, and then they still took that fight. Like, it's just like over eagerness. Like, maybe a bit of jitters, but. And this Spec's Diffusal build is not the build you want to go here. Like, you're going Blade Mail, you're going Dispersion, you want stats. So, Blade Mail Manta, Scotty after that. The Diff Blade is, I don't know, like, it's hurting their team so much because the hero doesn't feel like it's applying any pressure on the map. We're looking at top. They're pinging the Spectre again. But Ricky isn't that healthy.
They have really nice wards, so it's probably worth pointing out that, like, this ward is, you know, it's funny, there's almost 2 identical wards for these 2 sides, but I absolutely hate this ward that's been placed by the by Montwood. This was why, like, by the time this ward is useful, you're already dead. You know what I mean? Like, it's not actually covering. It only covers one entrance to this area, and that's the furthest possible entrance from top lane. So
that was a team fight ward. It's not a strategic ward.
Okay.
I think in the middle of the team fight they dropped it down for additional vision, just to like have coverage of a certain area, like while they were team fighting. I don't think it's a.
I feel like they weren't there 2 minutes ago.
It's a team fight ward, Albert.
Okay, I'll give them benefit of the doubt. Otherwise I hate it.
Double damage.
It has to be. Like, that's the only thing that like my brain is saying.
Mid lane, they're going to catch out Beldrum here. They do have the swell on Ricky, but he has to back off. He respects them. Egg, though, he gets engaged on SPD, gets Tranquillo's help, but the Soul Biter is there as well. ALT will connect onto Egg, and they should be able to finish down Egg Stroke, and they do. Power shot, sorry, Shackle shot comes through. Burrow Strike onto 2 PCM on the front line, caught out here by Billy. He wanted to get on top of him, however, the stun came out. They're going to manage to get on top of him with Battle Drone, who comes back and fray. Fortunately, both not caught by that Shackle shot. MVP in Dragon Form, Burrow Strike goes through once more, and they try to find Helsinki here. BKB popped here by MVP. He wants to take his fight. Beautiful Shackle on 2. Pass shot goes through on both as well. And MVP all alone here for the time being, starting to get some support. Burrow Strike from Battle Drone comes through, and they're able to finish him off. This DK is still standing though, and he does have all his mana pulled back into the Cogs gate. AA Boss flying, it's actually over his head. PCN comes in with the Epi, and a beautiful Burrow Strike to follow, and Billy Badass has to run out of here because this fight is surely decided, and the TP support coming back in. X-Stroke wants a piece of the action, but unfortunately for him, this fight is over. Although Billy is still being hunted by Freitrix here.
He
I
wants
think
him.
it's done.
He's
Although,
looking.
you can get on top of the Rubik. Rubik's got very limited options against him. Even if he does force himself out, Ricky can just re-engage again. He doesn't really care about telekinesis, and he's going to walk on top of this. Actually, beautiful bit of work there with the Burrow Strike. Maybe a little bit ill-timed, because he could have got a little bit more out of it, but even with SPD coming on, I don't think that was killed there.
The net worth is so low. It's a 30k game. The highest net worth is 14,000. Like, what are we watching? I'm so confused. It's 27 minutes in. You would expect a Ricky to be able to kill a Rubik there solo. Even a core Rubik. Yes, he's got 4 staff and he's got an Orchid. But no one has, like, big items. Ricky has Diffusal Manta and nowhere close to a Scotty yet. Spectre has Diffusal and a Yasha, about halfway to his Manta. This is at the stage of the game where your big boy items should start coming out on the cores, but it's just not happening because these guys are battling the entire time.
They want to fight again. I mean, it's not over yet. I guess the thing is that Olan Tranquillo, he's caught out here. The AA Blast is good though, but there surely isn't enough to follow up. Stays alive a little while longer, but in the end they're going to be able to retreat out, and they should retreat out because that AALT is doing work at the moment. But it looks like they may still want this. PCM and Co. still sticking around here, and it may work out for them because Smoking Vega is mostly alone. He's got Billy around him, but I promise you, Billy's not going to try to save his AA if things get tight.
Abandoned ship.
He will
Just put an
literally, he
iron-
will surge, he would surge his opponents into that AA if he thought it had a better chance of them surviving.
He's gonna give him an iron shell 300 health, and then he's gonna be like, "There you go, my man.
Yeah, good luck.
helped." Yeah.
Only if he doesn't have to turn for it though. If he has to commit the turning circle, that's not going to happen. Top lane, they want to find PCM. They have the Burrow Strike, the telekinesis there, the silence as well. They hold on to it, but they miss. It doesn't matter. Ripperonis.
Roche, maybe? Roche for Montwood? Do they have medallion?
I don't know. I think you do it. Yeah, they.
No
I
one
think
has
they
a
did have
medallion.
on the. No, they don't.
No one has a medallion. That
Oh,
is
look, admittedly, it is
horrible.
30 minutes in, so they can like almost brute force it regardless. But the problem is that
They don't have items!
yeah, that's it.
They don't have items, Albert!
They will eventually kill Roshan. He is dying slowly. The clock is ticking. That Spectre is in trouble. They're getting everyone on the Roche pit as well. They really just want to finish the job, and they do get away with it in the end. But I do actually just think they just need a medallion anyways. I mean, they're playing against a DK, like because DK things.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's good against for other supports as well if Ricky jumps them. It's just additional armor. If they haven't casted it. Oak shot?
And to connect mid, and they're going to find a nice egg stroke. And this is actually super important because by keeping these players off the map, it's really, really helpful. Shackle is there, but I don't think you want to engage that. Tranquilo's done his job. He'll be pretty happy.
he's got
Oh
a
no, they've got
Vermaak.
Fatrix! They have the dust as well! This is huge! Veldrin goes with the Burrow Strike and finishes the job as well. MVP and Co, they have to back off immediately because they don't have that Ricky. And admittedly, that's been the biggest source of damage so far. All of a sudden, it does look like IDGAF, they're in trouble here. Montwood certainly have the tails up here. They got the Carty backing them up, and they got Tranquilo on 2, and AA, and there's the ulti coming out from Darkseer. No vacuum, didn't have the mana, but in comes the PCM tanking with the Burrow Strike, with the Epi, but that's not nearly enough. And the power shot flying through to the high ground. Not going to be really a big threat, but the thing is, it's beautiful to push out these waves. So once it's up again, they're going to be walking into some. Well, they're not going to have any creeps to defend. It just goes down almost instantaneously. Fadebolt, power shot, rip. Oh, in goes Tranquilo once more. Bounces back Egg Stroke, and Egg Stroke will fall. In they go though. MVP on the front lines. They still have the wall up. They can still play around at PCM. He's going to go down. SPD on the front lines. He wants to pick a fight with MVP, but he gets swallowed up. But he doesn't want to be that close anymore. He's in his dragon form. Will manage to get away for the time being, but he's limping back, and he's going to be brought down. Power shot will connect from Battledrome, and Egg Stroke, he brought back, and he dies back. Is that game? Like, did this just implode? What just happened?
Well, Tranquilo and Billy Badass on this Darkseer happened. Look at this Darkseer's net worth, Albert. He is huge. Like he has items. Like Pipe, Guardian Greaves, Aghanims, and not because it's a ceremonial robe. Look how long that stun lasts. Look how long the cog push with the stun lasts, with the ceremonial robe. Like, it's 10%, but it feels way longer because he's keeping them stun locked.
Has fallen.
And he's not scared. Like, he's getting an additional 300 HP from this Iron Shell. Like, when he's full HP, he's close to 3k HP. Yeah, he can do whatever he wants. He's got no threats at the moment.
Right
And
now.
hookshot is so good. Like, what is the CD? 30 seconds. Oh.
Well, let's just pretend we didn't see it. I mean, I'm just going to pretend I didn't see it. Tranquilo, it's just played well enough to deserve it not being seen. The GG's called.
GG?
Yeah,
Yeah.
GG is called, just like that.
Because they still have their tier 1 and tier 2 up at the top lane. But I kind of think they felt that, okay, they've got a Spectre and we're already being run over. So, calling the GG, let's go next. But yeah, massive performance by Tranquilo. But it was such a strange game. Like, no one wanted to hit creeps. It was just, let's fight. Like, non-stop. Like, permanently.
I mean, it was super intense, but just take a look. Okay, so we show the graphs for a second would be great, but like for those of you who can't see, basically up until the 30th minute, it was a decline towards Montwood. They looked like they were taking over, but then it went all the way back to IDGAF, and for the most part of this game, net worth, experience, and win probability were all sitting very, very close. There was never a time when you thought this game was over, and then it was. It was just instantaneously over. too many bodies thrown at the problem, I guess, and into the
not
Aegis
because
as
they
well,
wasn't-
which makes it even more curious.
Yeah, we spoke about not having items, and that's kind of what happened. Like, you just lost 2 lanes of racks, and then you kind of look at what your team has. And Ricky has Diffusal Manta, 2 items. Wind Ranger's got Solar Force Staff, 2 items. DK has got Blink and a BKB, so he doesn't really have much. And then your Sand King went this, like, I'm going to keep my teammates alive build, so... Like, no one had items. It was just weird, like, on both sides.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, this game has somehow ended. It's so strange. But anyways, with that said, we obviously do have more of this action to go through. IDGF will have an opportunity to potentially redeem themselves here. And I think before I said that IDGF were 70-30 victors, I mean, Montwood clearly has proven that wrong, because this is a 50-50 Dota at this point. 100%.
Yeah.
Like, either side can still win this for sure.
And you can see both teams were kind of on the same page. Like they were... We fighting. Like, that's what's going to go down here. We're gonna put our foot down, and the team that fights the best is going to win this game. So, let's see more of that game too.
Well, a new lobby is already up, so hopefully we won't have to wait too long. I would like to remind everyone, whilst we're here, that we are giving away vouchers. I'm going to say this in game as well, because we're going to give it away to people on the stream, not in the
clothing and cool stuff.
Yeah, but I think it's a voucher specifically tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
We're going to get confirmation now. Yeah,
it's voucher it is. So that does, of course, mean that one of you lucky viewers will get to enjoy a brand new potential game on Steam or something. At least some money towards it. There's a 250 Rand Steam voucher. There was something in sale recently that I would buy you. I think it was Control or something. Something is actually very cheap right now on Steam, which is like a really good game that I had on my wish list.
Valheim.
I have Valheim, but you know what? If you get the voucher, give it to notAhero so he can play Valheim with me.
Nah, I'm good.
How's that taking one for the team? Huh?
But there is a keyword for the giveaway though. So the guys in the chat there, please like throw a bit of EGL ones in there, and then it'll be randomly selected from the people that are using that phrase. So it's EGL one. So EGL, like then the actual ONE, not one. So EGL one. Put that in the stream, and I'll put that in the chat, and then yeah, well at the just before the end of the second game or after the second game, then we'll announce it.
Cool. By the way, for those who are wondering what was happening in our other matchup tonight, since the 5 do seem to have beaten Hayes Gaming in a straight 2-0. What's kind of impressive about that is that in the time it took us to finish 1, which was actually ultimately a quick game of Dota, 30 minutes, Hayes Gaming were defeated by since the 5. So obviously it's an invited team. Say again?
Look at Frank's items.
My eyesight's bad. What am I looking at? Where are you? Okay. Okay, so the age-old, you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of Dota 1, where people actually used to do that for realsies.
But it's Magic Res. So like Frank
what happened.
For the viewers, Frank on Pudge or Grove on Pudge against Hayes Gaming built 3 Hood of Defiances. Like 3 Hood of Defiances and Brown Boots. That was his build. So against the Lesh rack. So try and kill me, Lesh.
Not here. Get in this broadcast channel. Kaz, set that channel name. Guys, we're almost ready for this game too. And I think with such an exciting game 1, I think there's no reason to expect that there's going to be a game just as exciting in game 2. In fact, I wouldn't be too surprised if we're talking about how exciting we think game 3 is going to be, because this is a really, really close matchup. Anyway, just close off with since 5 versus Hayes. Obviously, Hayes was one of the sides that qualified via the wild card draw, and since the 5 is the #1 seed in the tournament. So a really tough ask for them in that. We were saying before this matchup, it's not going to be easy. And since 5 obviously did not make it easy on them at all. But with that said, of course, for these two sides, they want to continue their run here in the upper bracket. They want to make sure that they can stay alive in the top side of this bracket. And right now, it's still anybody's game. and it is a really, really close game. So, what do you think? I mean, I think the obvious one for me, and maybe you can just expand on it, is that they probably need to spend more time farming. Isn't that weird? Isn't that a weird thing to say? I'm a play-by-play cast. I like it. Keep it as it is.
Say again, Hobbit. I'm just like trying to speak to the guys in the lobby as well quickly.
Sure. So I was going to say that as a play-by-play caster, I don't think anything should change whatsoever, because all we got to do was see more than a kill a minute. I mean, if I look back, we had 41 kills from Montwood. We had 31 kills from IDGAF.
30-minute game.
And a 32-minute 53-second game. But basically both sides effectively had a kill a minute each. And obviously a little extra for Montwood, a little less for IDGAF. But that is a lot of violence in this Dota game. And I, for one,
like they completely just ran at each other non-stop. Like we looked at the last hits, and Sand King and Darkseer is at the top. So no one really wanted to like just farm. Like everyone just wanted to get into each other's faces and fight. So yeah, it was just I don't know, it was weird for me. Like I haven't seen Dota like that in a long time.
I mean, okay, so we probably need them to do the opposite now, though, right? Like, so if you're looking at this game, you're probably thinking to yourself, like, maybe this time around you want to do a little bit more of a controlled matchup. You want to be a little bit more, you just want to slow things down a bit, farm a little bit more, take time to get your items up, that kind of stuff. And with that, hopefully, find yourself in a situation where you can kill Roshan a lot faster because you have said items up. Like the big missing question mark for me, and probably what leads us into a little bit of itemization queries is what is I think the itemization needs to improve as well from these.
Yeah,
sides.
the itemization was extremely bad. Or not. I'm not gonna flame these guys. Like they made it all the way to where they're on this tournament, so they deserve to be here. But like that Rubik, that Orchid on the Rubik was really strange. I didn't like that at all. Like if he wants to go that type of build, go Aether Lens into Ags, you're gonna have the same impact that you have with that Orchid. The Orchid wasn't a must-have. And then the Spectre that's going the Blade Mill build that does, but he maxes Dagger over Dispersion and just never farms. But if you want to be fighting, Dispersion is better than Dagger as well, because obviously you're just dealing more damage. It was just a strange game. Like even from the support, you see AA, like he went Ghost Scepter first item to try and get away from the Riki, but a Glimmer Cape could have done the same thing, and it's beneficial to his team as well. Yeah, and Wind Ranger, Solar Crest, and a 4-staff to get away from Clockwork. It was just weird. The itemization was just a bit wonky. It was a bit silly, man. That's the best way to describe it. I kind of think like with the teams running at each other so much, they kind of try to like evaluate. Okay, well we're fighting so much. What can we get that's going to add value? So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that one way or another, though, there's definitely a lot left on the table for these two sides. A lot of places where they can both improve in the series and, of course, as teams in general. And there's a lot of potential for these two sides to grow. In fact, I'd really almost love to see a comparison of where IDGAF and Montwood Gaming are from the beginning of this tournament to the end, regardless of where they finish. Even if this is the end of the line, but obviously including the qualifiers both these two sides went through, would be really keen to see how they performed as they went through. So with that said, both sides I think already we're going to be going into the game in any moment. Friendly reminder for those of you who may have this all in big screen and you're not reading the chat at all, please do go ahead and I missed it, sorry, I watched, there we go, much better. Is that online? Is that online? Yeah, that's better. Cool. If you're watching a big screen, please make sure that you do come and chat to us as well. There is a giveaway of a 250 Rand Steam voucher. You enter the draw by typing in EGL One. That is the word one, not the number one. Yes, those are the same thing, kinda. But if you put the one in there, the number, it's not going to work. And just say it once. If you say more than once, it's going to remove you from the door. So just say it just once and potentially get yourself a stream voucher, I want to give it to you. I'd love to give you a stream voucher. It'll make me so happy because I know that you'll do the right thing and give notAhero Valheim so that I can play Valheim with
I
him.
don't want Valheim. Keep your Steam voucher. Buy yourself something nice. Like
Control,
buy
which I think was
Control,
on.
which
I,
is
I might be wrong
amazing
about that, but yeah. So I believe that going to this next one, we have Montwoods on Radiant, and I think IGF are still just making up their mind if they're going to have first or second pick, and then we'll be ready to go. What is actually the right choice these days? Not here. I feel like I've lost.
So I 100% feel that second pick is kind of great because you get 2 picks in a row in the first phase, so you can kind of look at what the enemy team like first picks, which is obviously a big thing because they can pick a nice big hero. But then you have got 2 heroes that can react to that pick or like start rounding off your draft, ticking those boxes, and then you've also got last pick to ensure that either your safe lane or mid has a favorable matchup. So I do think with the draft priority going back to, I actually think second pick was even better when it was 1-1-1-1, but 1-2-1 drafting phase. I prefer second pick. But it kind of depends on your team. If you really believe in Snapfire or you really believe in Centaur, those types of heroes, then first pick is obviously a great way to go. If you like have a extremely skilled player on a certain hero and you know it's going to be banned, having that first pick could just be like, it just could be way too value.
All right, so just to get you all ready for it, so it's Montwoods Gaming on Radiant, IDGAF. Correct me if I'm wrong, it's Montwoods on Radiant, yes. IDGAF on Dire and IDGAF.
No. Montwoods is on Radiant, and they're 1 game up at the moment, and IDGAF is on Dire.
Yeah.
And IDGAF has selected first pick for this game, and Montwoods actually had priority this one, and they went with Radiant from Tranquilo. He said he wants Radiant, and then IDGAF decided they want first pick in the next series. So Montwoods Gaming on the Radiant with the second pick, IDGAF on Dire with first pick.
All right. Well, guess we're about to get into it. I'd love to see from the stream chat who they are backing in this one. Are you going to be behind IDGAF or are you behind Montwoods Gaming? Let us know. We're keen to know, but we're going to find out
EGL One in the chat.
Okay, well now we give the chance to those people, the non-stream people. For those of you who are joining us in game, I'm going to tell you something very special, and I'm taking my time particularly so that your friends can load in as well and don't miss this announcement. Be nice and tell them as well. If you head over to the EGL Twitter page or their link tree or wherever you might find it, and I'll help you out there, twitter.com/Evesports.ZA, you will find a YouTube link. If you are to follow that YouTube link, you'll find us here on the stream, and more importantly, because we know how you in-game viewers are, you'll also find an opportunity to win a 250 Rand Steam voucher, which we are giving away. And all you need to do to enjoy this voucher is type EGL1 in the chat and stick around till the end of the stream, where we will announce a winner for you. That's Twitter. You will head over to Evesports. As I disconnect for some reason from in-game. You head over. Okay, there we go. We'll try that again. You head over to Evesports ZA on Twitter. Go to their YouTube channel. Type in the very useful text EGL1. It's super useful because it's going to give you an opportunity to win a team voucher. Cool. With that said, why is Meepo being banned out again? What don't I know about these two sides?
No, I just think IDGAF might have like a staple Meepo player that they don't want the guys to play against. Like you don't play against the hero often, HellbirD, and if there is someone that can play the hero well, it just catches you off guard. You kind of don't know what to do. Broodmother was taken out again as well. That's more of a bit of a meta ban. Like I do think the hero has its value. And then Puck, and then that respect ban on the Clockwork. like Tranquilo on that clockwork was a beast. He was a beast. So taking it out, just don't want to play against that again. It might shut down their Darkseer combination as well because they clearly were comfortable with that Darkseer plus the clockwork. And Darkseer, most farmed hero on the map for majority of the game. Yeah, so definitely. I do like what Montwood is doing here. Like Centaur plus Tusk, there's some old school synergy there. Snowball into Who Stomp, into Tag Team. It's a little bit of a meme from the olden days, but I do still think it's strong, especially against strength heroes. So IDGAF was going to have to ban... so they're going to have to pick like a very versatile carry, something like Juggernaut or Lifestealer that can actually sustain that combo, because otherwise it's just going to way too much damage. Then IDGAF respond with Pitlord and Lich. I don't like either of those picks, HellbirD.
Why don't you like it all, Pitlord and Lich? It's because they play Valheim, isn't it?
Probably. No, it's just Pitlord just is in a weird place at the moment. Every time you pick this hero, your draft has so many gaps because most offlaners are these tempo setters, and Pitlord is not a tempo setter on the map. He's a hero he's kind of a body. He just goes and stands in front of your towers and keeps them alive for as long as possible. And heroes like Centaur, even without a blink dagger, they've got the ultimates they can get on targets, like Axe, Slardar, we saw banned in the other game, Mars. All these heroes can like pick your tempo up in the game, where Pitlord is kind of like a reactionary hero. Like he wants to defend your towers and then he wants to ulti the team out of there if they get into trouble. So I don't know, I don't like it. And then the Lich, I guess Lich is fun. Like Lich has got a nice little ultimate. This laning presence is pretty good. Mid game he's got a bit of a catch. I do think Lich's Ags is probably one of the best. Seen some cutesy plays with a shard on him as well, where he puts like a big crystal down and then you can just ulti a hero next to the crystal and they kind of die. So the Lich can work. I'm just not a big fan of the Pitlord. They have got the Pitlord into 2 strength heroes, Tusk and Centaur. So it is pretty good. Centaur also really doesn't like the Pit of Malice because the Stampede is kind of, the duration is kind of killed with it. So yeah,
and mainly as well, like you stick that pit over a snowballing Tusk, it could be potentially very frustrating, especially if it's save or something. So definitely some opportunities there with the Pitlord. I kind of like the Lich, if I'm perfectly honest. I just since the Gaze does the same thing for me in a way, like it's such a long weird disable that Centaur's ulti wouldn't really appreciate it. And if you do go for the Axe build, you get like AoE disables. It's kind of memey, I guess, but into the Pitlord's pit, it's useful. You know, I just realized he's Underlord, right? It shouldn't be pit anymore. It shouldn't be called Under.
He's Pitlord, but Underlord, yeah. Which Doctor destroys Pitlord or Underlord in lane though? Like he just completely destroys him. Like Coconut, Maledict, you just do a few right clicks onto him. He's not a happy chap. Shadow Demon and Lich together.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think it's possible this is another like weird pick where they go for another strange mid? Yeah, I don't know, because there was a thing before, and it's a very weird support duo, right? Like they do exactly the same thing. Yeah.
I guess they wanted. I think they're overthinking their combos because they just picked Medusa. I like Medusa. The hero is strong. It wasn't touched in the patch really that much. There was some changes to her talent tree. But I do still think the hero is really strong. And then like good old Shadow Demon Medusa, just additional illusions with split shot. I don't know. Lich and Shadow Demon do. Shadow Demon's got a save, or Lich doesn't. But like the general mechanics of the which they both have is kind of the same. You've got an ulti that slows. You've got kind of like a mini disable from the disruption and the gaze, and then Lich has got a nuke and Shadow Demon's got the poison. So they function in the same way. I guess you can like Pit of Malice someone and then ball them, and when they come out they root it again, and then there's 2 illusions next to them hitting them. But it's not great. They've got no tempo, eh? How do they like kill someone on the map at the moment? They don't.
Yeah, you don't at all. And the thing is, like, I actually find so the Weaver's, sorry, like I was going to say, the Weaver is doing a couple of things here for Montwood as well. Is that he can actually go for the mana break talent, which is normally useless. But
Diffusal Manta Weaver, like,
Yeah.
great at this game.
exactly. So in this case, it's actually really good against Dusa. Obviously, Dusa also got nerfed. So Shard and her. So if I'm not mistaken, it's that her
Talent tree is
mystic-
swapped around. It's way
Correct.
weaker.
Yeah, because it's you have less. You have less of the thing you want ready for the Ags and Shard build.
Yeah.
And at the worst of the two timings as well. So you almost want to invert your buys potentially with your Shard and your Ags. And of course that makes it unviable because you need the Ags, you need the stats first early on. So I'm not a massive fan of this draft from IDGAF either. And I was going to say, sorry, the other part of this, although now Weaver becomes really good against the Dusa, and the one thing that Dusa does well against the Weaver, which is turning him into a stone frequently, which of course could butcher Weaver since he's elusive but certainly fragile, is in this case he's also a bully to things like Shadow Demon and Lich, because Shadow Demon isn't really much of a threat to him. Obviously Lich with Sinister Gaze is more of a problem, but the hypermobility the hero has against effectively no real disable means that none of these supports are really going to apply any threat to the Weaver. So I really like the Weaver pickup, also like the Witch Doctor here as well, because it's good against the Unlord as well as the Dusa. This is an outdraft.
Yeah, like, I think there's other heroes that could have done the same thing that the Weaver did, but I like it. He's a hero that can, yeah, and now they've got Venge. Probably, so like you said, it's going to be a weird mid again. Is that a Venge middle? Is that a Shadow Demon middle?
I think it's a
Ooh, I actually like this with Montwoods just did here. They pulling some Chinese flavor here. Have you seen Wind Ranger with Tusk? Focus Fire with Tag Team. That is disgusting. I like that. Like, this Tusk with the Wind can kill anything on the map, and then you've got a Weaver that's got 2 attacks as well with the Geminates. So, yeah, I like the Wind pick. She can move freely in and out of these fights. Venge is kind of like the only catch they have for her. Pits of Malice, Wind is an early BKB builder. I think Montwoods got the stronger draft here by far.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried because I was hoping for game 3, but this does look like IDGAF are going to have to do some really hard. They're going to have to put in hard work to turn this one around. I don't think that they have the same kind of firepower by virtue of just what the heroes
offer. Mid Medusa and a safe lane Venge. Is that what we're seeing?
Fratrix was the Ricky in the previous matchup, so I think that is a safe lane Dusa and a mid Venge. But I mean, they could possibly also just be swapping the roles around.
We were theory crafting this Venge thing when they changed her, how her Wave of Terror works, and her shard came in, and her talents like changed, and like everyone was trying to like play carry Venge or mid Venge, and like myself included, it just never felt good.
You know,
like,
it's
when
one
I looked
of
at
those
it
things
on paper, when I looked at it on paper, it was like, this is going to be really good. She steals base damage, she gets the base damage, she reduces people's armor, and when you get Ags, you can just keep fighting until you respawn, and then you respawn on your illusion.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed really good, but it just didn't feel strong.
You know, it's very snowbally. To me, it feels a lot like a one position Night Stalker. One position Night Stalker feels so trash to play unless you are snowboarding, in which case it feels like the best hero in Dota and you should do it every single time. It's one of those...
Venge has a 10 agi talent, -2 Wave of Terror armor, and she's got 200 magic missile damage or nether swap cooldown, you'll take the damage, and then you've got bonus damage from your 25, and then her...
To be honest,
Wave of Terror,
honestly, also just magic missile piercing spell immunity is also huge, right? So that's also a flex.
Good talents. Yeah, or even the magic missile cooldown with plus 200 magic missile damage. You've got a 560 damage nuke every like cooldown is 9 seconds now, so like every 7 seconds you've got a 560 damage nuke.
That could potentially be piercing, BKB targets and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
so.
And bear in mind that it is a 1.7 second stun as well, so the downtime on it is, call it 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
It's really good. It's really good. But anyways,
what is Pitlow doing? What is Pitlow doing? Look at his items.
He's underloading. Huh.
Why does he?
That's like a 4 pos build, right? Is that a 4 position? What is Helsinki got? No, Helsinki definitely looks like the support to me.
Why does he have boots? Why does he not have lots of regen?
So I'm a big fan of the kind of like bracer tangos in the offline position thing at the moment. Like to me, it offers like a little mini quelling blade, but then all the stats behind it as well.
The lanes. Weaver against Medusa. They're trialing top. They're going on the glitch. He's
Backline
dead.
to it's going to be a glitch. It's going to be your first blood here. Tranquilo is caught out, but no real threat.
I don't like that Helsinki TP'd here. Like, I know it's obviously to help his mate, but like the Lich is dead. Like first blood is gone. Why are you TP? Do they want to try lane against the try lane? Like against a Tusk Witch Doctor lane? No, come on. That's not gonna work. Like Tusk Witch is so strong. Like tag team with Maledict, you're just gonna blow someone up.
Admittedly, the tri lane didn't go the way we expected it last time, so who knows? Maybe we'll have a similar experience. I like what's happening here. Tranquilo interrupting the pull as well to make sure that the lane stays in a favorable position for his core, and smoking Vega. And yeah, this is actually a lot of damage that can potentially come up with Witch Doctor and the Tusk. I mean, obviously it always helps when you have a ranged hero for tag team, but there's also paralyzing cast is amazing. Oh no,
has been killed.
booties.
It is. Yeah, that's a misplay. But also, why are you flying in boots when you try laning? I don't understand, Holbert. I'm confused. Like,
Well,
you
what's interesting is he was looking for the energy boost as well. So he wanted, you know, if he commits to that, he was looking for full arcane boots over the magic wand. So definitely want the magic stick early on into the magic wand.
I want to see
in a tri
what
lane.
Peaches is now going to do. I want to see what Peaches is going to do now. He's level 3. He should take 2 levels of Firestorm right now, and then he wins this lane against the Centaur. He hasn't skilled yet. Why? What's going on, Albert?
I don't have answers.
He took 2 levels of the aura against the Centaur. Why? He's a strength hero. I don't know. Okay. Nah, I'm gonna focus on this trial and top. I'm sad now.
I want to remind everyone that notAhero could be playing Valheim with me, but he doesn't want to, so you know that he's brought this on himself. Actually, with that choice, the last time I'm telling you this, if you're watching in the game, come to the stream, type EGL One into the chat. You can win a 250 rand Steam voucher, and you'll be supporting South African Dota, and you can tell everyone how much you hate notAhero and I on stream, and we will promise that at least one of you will say hello to. Alright, top lane, they do in fact catch out Lich Egg, but he does get bailed out. Could actually take quite a bit of damage here, but they should be able to finish the job and do. They're not done with this just yet. They actually bring the Weaver quite aggressive. It looks like he's not too keen to go any further, but they're struggling
level
here.
1. Isn't even still level 1.
Look, admittedly, they have given all the XP they possibly can to the Dusa, and I actually kind of agree. Because if Dusa does get to the point where Mystic's Knife is just bouncing through lower level heroes that are corrupted by the XP loss of a tri-lane, then you can win this back. But right now...
I'm gonna elaborate on my confusion with this bottom lane. I understand that Peaches doesn't want to be pushing the lane into the centaur, but he's laning against a strength melee hero, and he's got Firestorm, which burns percentage HP. So it's super effective against strength heroes. So you should just be getting a Soul Ring, and he should be throwing Firestorm down every single chance he has. But now he's getting into a right tick battle with the centaur, which I don't understand. Like, Firestorm is so strong. Oh wait, Tuskar goes down.
To be fair, he's doing okay, right? Like, I know he could be better against the Centaur, but at the very least,
Centaur could have been on 8 CS, not 21.
Specifically 8.
Specifically 8.
Like, not 9, not 7. Could have been an 8.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, let's see what he takes next. I mean, he is actually using it to zone. He has got 3 levels in now, so maybe you heard you. I don't know. Top lane though, they're going to bring down the Lich again. This Lich is not allowed to play Dota. That's what's been decided.
Yeah. This trial lane is a bit wonky. I even think if they put the just put the Lich bottom and then we can maybe get a kill on the Centaur. I think it's too late already. His Vanguard is flying out. Is that his Vanguard? What is flying? No, it's Boots. It's not Vanguard. I guess he just wants to get out of the Firestorm faster.
I mean, he's actually doing fine. I mean, his HP is chilled. He's not having a hard time farming at all. I mean, at the very least, once again, the Unlord is farming well. So, at the very least, He's having a good time in that regard. I'm very interested to see what he goes. Looks like he's going for the Vanguard himself, which means that this is going to be the most boring lane you're ever going to see, because they're both just going to walk around with Vanguards and not be able to kill one another.
Mid.
This is a big engagement on the MVP. He manages to swap
There's the
himself out,
back
but he is...
team.
Oh wow!
Focus fire.
He actually got the kill though. He's actually able to get the kill first. That's pretty impressive. Like 3-on-1, he picks up the support. I mean, definitely still worth for Montwoods,
Something, yeah.
but it's pretty reasonable.
And there's 3 heroes top against this Weaver. Like a Shadow Demon and a Lich. Okay.
Can't do. I mean, even with the Central Audio, he's gonzies.
Like yeah, he's playing with him. He doesn't care.
No, he's not playing with them. He's killing them, not a hero. They go back, and the Paralyzing Cast is good as well. Helsinki very low. They're trying to bail him out, and they're unable to do so. He's going to be brought down the top lane. Frederick's going to have to watch yet another one of his supports die. I guess the only good news is that if you take a look at the kills at the moment, it's not Frederick's who's dying. In fact, he's gotten the kill in this lane. He is getting a lot of work done here. He's actually farming. I wouldn't say great, because he's up against a Trident.
Got mana boots bottom. Oh, if he one more second, he would have had mana boots, and he would have had enough mana to cast Firestorm there. So, Belly escaping with the hairs on his chinny chin chin, and I can say that because he's a centaur. But those are pigs. My bad.
Actually, I also have to tell you that I don't think the Centaur has. And he's got actually he's shining through his little master, I think, at the bottom.
He's got hairs on his chinny chin chin.
He's coming through at the end. Tranquillo catches out Lich Egg. Is he Lich Egg now? I don't even know. Egg Lich. Lich! Caught out here towards the ruin. He's going to be brought down by the pouch as well. And once again, who's going to get it? Can you succeed? Tranquillo! Again! It's an instant replay. 37 minutes apart. We did the exact same thing in the previous game. Stole both bounty runs. It's dying gold for everybody. You know, that's like when you go to a pub, your friend says, don't you worry, I got this beer, and then a complete stranger pays for it. You know, like sure, not going to win you a Dota game, but it doesn't suck. I mean, that's a couple of sentries, a couple of ironwood branches, that's good. Swinging Vega is going to find out Helsinki here, and he's going to get the Maledict down as well. The Shackle will not latch, but that's more than enough damage with the power shot. And Frederick's, he realizes his friend's dead. Yeah, he's probably just bad that the Wind Ranger doesn't have mana, but certainly no way out of it.
Yeah, that's the problem with this Lich Shadow Demon supports. Like, you've got 2 heroes that kind of do the same thing. They can't apply any pressure on the map. Yes, now they have this mid-venge, which can probably start doing stuff on the map, but your supports aren't going to be benefiting to it. Like, they're just running freely. Oh, wait, there's some damage coming out. They're going to Tusker here. Tag team.
They're all actually still on top of each other here. MVP, he is going to be brought down for sure, and does eventually pop. And in the end, they do manage to survive without losing anyone. It looks like they want a little bit more. Tranquillo goes. Egg is still level 2. This is not fair. He just wants to get level 6. He's going to be brought down by the Weaver, who also gets onto the stack as well, and onto Freitrix. If they kill either the stack or Freitrix here, this is a huge win. Tag team comes up, and guess what? Might not be focused by, but they do have Germinate attack, and that works wonders too. Tranquillo, nice little bit of work there with the ice block, but unfortunately, the shot's not quite enough to block out his opponents, who are unable to finish the job regardless. They turn their attention to this Weaver, who's able to just casually farm around. He doesn't care at all. The Lich, oh, he's still level 2.
They got no catch. Like, their heroes just aren't allowing them to play Dota.
And we haven't even spoken about Factor Centaur. Like, when he starts being more engaged with using that, there's no ways to catch him, man.
Yeah, it's just like this Lich Shadow Demon like dual picks it's really hurting them, and then it's in combination with the Pit Lord as well. Because if that was a Mars coming top with an ulti or something like that, like you can possibly like turn, like Underlord just doesn't provide you with those same tool sets. And you can see the Weaver has queued up the Maelstrom, but what I spoke about on draft, did you see how much damage tag team, a level 2 tag team by the way, with Focus Fire does? It just destroys heroes.
How much damage does Malik do to a level 9 Underlord? Because we're about to find out. Peach is in a lot of trouble bottom lane. He's draining this one off, caught out again by the snowball, and eventually he should fall down here. They've brought in everybody. Peaches, why won't you die? You'll eventually die, but why won't you die sooner? I'm sure is what they felt. Eventually, he does go down. Peaches will fall. At the very least, that Vanguard's still working out nicely there and buying some time. And they actually brought a lot of heroes. Take a look at the bottom lane. It is
Shadow Demon, run!
Helsinki, they're level 2 Lich coming in. No, he's still going to be level 2. He's going to be brought down as well. Lich, Egg Lich. Actually missed on the Malik. They were able to survive this. That's an angry level 2 Lich now.
It's only
You know what's funny is if you take away the time of the game, considering it's 10 minutes in, you would say, hey, a level 2 Lich is looking great. It's already got full tranks up.
Like, this level 2 Lich is farmed.
Just ignore the 11 minutes, okay? The sports rating, I mean, take a look at the levels. It's really rough, right? I mean, you're seeing at level 3 Shadow Demon, level 3, they're not doing anything. They have no ability to contribute to their team at the moment. If you look on the other side, you have a level 5, almost level 6 Witch Doctor. When he hits 6, he's a threat, you know? Like, you need to do something about that.
Problem with the draft at the moment as well is like with this like Venge mid pick, you kind of want to get eggs as fast as possible. But the problem with that is like you've got no farming tool. Like you don't have a Maelstrom or Manta or anything like that. I actually think like Manta into eggs is probably the way to go. Like I've seen Arteezy do Manta into eggs on TA recently, like safe lane Temporal Assassin. We had a brief chat with a mate about it today. Like he just like showed me a few clips of stuff about how Arteezy's doing this thing, and he just goes Manta eggs on TA and he just like split pushes the entire map because you can jump to the traps. So I think Venge kind of needed to mimic like a similar type of thing. He needed to go Manta into eggs. Like the Manta provides him additional damage, additional stats in these team fights as well. And then once he gets Aghanims, his damage output is pretty significant. So yeah, I don't know. It's just it's a weird one. Oh, good swap on Centaur.
Yeah, they catch him on mid lane, and Billy will go down here. So something in it for them that's nice, and then maybe can put a little pressure on the tower. I have to take a moment though, because I have some admin duties to take care of. For those of you who are in game, for those of you who are enjoying the stream, it's almost time. Make sure that you've got your EGL One in chat, because we're about to do a last. In fact, that is your last ball. Ding, ding, ding. As Peaches gets caught out by the ice shards, might die. Should die! They have enough on him as well. Peaches does get up the pit though, so gets a little bit of damage before he pops to the Maledic. And they do manage to keep it. Oh, they got a beautiful shackle to MVP. MVP in trouble, going to be pushed back, and he should be brought down, and is. And they're still going! Level 2 Lich brought down as well. I think it's 5 now, but it doesn't matter. Helsinki will fall as well beneath that. IDGAF, they're falling apart here at the moment. And even Billy's back.
It's getting rough. Yeah, it's getting way too rough. Like this Wind Ranger Tusk combo is looking really strong. Like I saw a bunch of Chinese teams do it and it just looked completely broken. And then other regions try to copy it and it looked horrible. But if you get this focus fire out with power shot, up with tag team, like the hero, she's got a
no egg, not like this. Yeah, this is unfortunate. Peaches as well caught out here on the high ground, and he's just being swarmed. Fredrix is trying to help, but he's even going to pop the ulti for this. He has to do something. Nice swap though, but even better snowball. Keeps him alive. Of course, Amy can drag him back up the high ground, and that'll be enough to bring them down, but beautiful shackle shot does connect. Billy, he gets in position for the Hoostorm. Can't quite get both, but will be able to do a lot of damage to his opposite number with the double edge. And now, they do force out the time lapse from SPD. They're going to try to bring him down. They turn their attention back to Billy, as he is a little bit low, and they should be able to finish the job. Weaver will do it. And in the end, they do a fantastic bit of work here, turning that fight around. In the end, I think only poor old Eglich. Oh no, Peaches, he's still being run down by SPD. They can't catch him though, and they have so little to deal with Weaves. Well, by the way, he's doing all this and he's got a full diffusal blade just waiting. MVP will connect with the magic missile. Is he enough damage? Shuma hits maybe 3. In the end, SPD should be able to run this one off. He's certainly fast enough with Shikuchi. And, oh man, Shikuchi just feels like it doesn't have a cooldown. Come here, I got your back.
He could have dodged that Venge stun though. I guess he didn't see it coming in. His back was already turned. He was kind of like, I'm out. And then caught him off guard a bit. Tusk is opting for Solar Crest, so that's obviously going to increase his map presence quite significantly. Wind is hunting Medusa.
Yeah, Wind has caught Medusa, and Freitrix is getting some supporters, or rather getting more adversaries around him, as Billy also connects with him as well. And of course, Smoking Vega there to steal the bounty, because that's what them do. That's what them do. And yes, I'm saying
like Wind Ranger has a bottle or anything.
Dirty Wind Ranger, not allowed these balls. Yeah, this is falling apart at the moment. They do get off a really good pit though. Billy in trouble. He's going to be able to limp out of it for the time being. Gets pulled straight back into control. Is actually great in that regard.
Yeah.
They lose a couple regardless. They're going to buy back on the Lich. Peach is caught up by the ice shot. They also have damage coming from Helsinki. He still isn't level 6 either. If this was a 6th Lich, this would be so different. They just don't have the level. Peaches gets the pit down. They're going to commit the LT from the Medusa as well. They want to finish the battle. Can they do it? Yes, they can. Enough damage on the field. But back towards the tier 2 tower, Tranquillo, he's able to help out SPD as they pick up yet another kill in these sports. They're still not 6. It's 60 minutes in, and they're not alive to get 6. You need these players to be able to contribute. Look at the level differences. The Tusk is almost twice the level, notAhero.
Yeah, but it's just bad plays. I'm gonna say it honestly, like it's bad plays. Why, or just for 30 seconds, does Lich decide not to join a team fight and go to a lane and get his level 6? Like, just for 30 seconds. If your teammates are in trouble, they're in trouble. But go get your level 6 because you're going to be a way bigger contributor, or like you're going to have way more value in that engagement if you have the level for it. But they keep like, oh, there's a fight here, let's fight. Oh, there's a fight here, let's fight. They just need to calm down, get levels on their heroes. The Shadow Demon just hit level 6 now. Lich needs to do the same, and then they can play Dota, but they're not allowing themselves to play Dota because of this level disadvantage.
Guys, I'm not going anywhere by the way. Hey, observer, you watch this Lich. Don't care what else happens. You watch this Lich. Because, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Oh no, there's going to be a fight.
Oh, no, he's going to get bait into a fight again!
He's not going to get 6. No! He's 6! He's 6! He's dead! But he's 6! MVP running this one off. MWG wants to finish the job. Not quite, but the power shot goes wide. And they are able to finish with Helsinki. But I think we all know what's most important here. Is that Lich is 6, ladies and gentlemen. And we now have Chain Frost.
He's running level 5, needing 5 HP to get level 6, and then his bench swaps him into death. Like, no man. I'm done, Albert.
It's not funny, okay? Lich lives matter. Egg lives matter. Okay, that's not okay.
Like the poor
He's
man
trying-
it's just trying to get level 6, and the MVP goes, well, I'm a core bench, Lich, sorry dude, boom. Like, it's so rough.
But now is his time to shine. Behold, the mystical egg.
Right, Egg?
He's keeping in top. He's keeping into the battle, and he will Chain Frost! He hangs onto it! It bounces! It bounces beautifully, actually! It's not going anymore, but it was a great Chain Frost. Forced you to die immediately afterwards because MWG instead finished the job. And, okay, IDGAF, there are... It's weird, because they kind of still feel in this, because the net worth graph isn't that far behind, and they do have a deuce on the field, but...
It's so weird. Like, you've got Lich, Shadow Demon, like it's... and then Pit Lord. But Lich, Shadow Demon, Pit Lord, and a mid-range, 18 minutes, almost has his eggs? Or did he change his items up? Is he seriously 700 gold away from his eggs? If so, that's not too bad. That's not too horrible. I do think he got maybe a nice little kill there at the end. What, did he? Yes, he killed the Witch Doctor for 400 gold. Okay.
So, on this note, I just want to say congratulations to... I feel like I should say as like a soccer commentator, but Roberto Torres. Torres! No, that was more than I don't know how it goes. I don't watch that soccer. Anyways, congratulations for winning your stream voucher. Don't forget to give it to your casters. Yes, we are taking it as a bribe. Tranquillo caught out here by the Pit Lord. The Underlord catches him out. And this was one way, if you could just keep him right to... Oh no! He actually went the other way. We both misread that because I thought he was going into the pit, but regardless, they are able to finish the job. But SPD! He's taking so much damage. Can't get the time lapse. This is a huge fight. Look at the Maledict! Look at the cock! Look at the hoof stomp! They are tearing them apart, even with that LT pop, pop, pop. MVP, you're going down next as well, blowing up. What an amazing bit of work there from Montwoods Gaming. They did so good, and they will get their rewards as they bring down Helsinki as well. And Fredrix, although he stands, he's at least got a friend this time around. Egg survives, but oh my soul, that cast, that hoof stomp.
Oh, into the cask, into the Maledict, into the Witch Doctor ulti. Ew, that was pretty. The Weaver like overexerted himself a bit there, like that can't happen again. He also went Maelstrom and Diffusal, which I don't like. Just go Diffusal Manta into BKB. Why is he going Diffusal Maelstrom?
Dyer's bottom
not sure.
tower is under
But
attack.
most importantly, our Lich
Dyer's
is almost
structures
level
are
7 halberd. The little man is growing up. He's becoming
He's
a
not
big
even
boy.
almost level 7, by the way. Wait, he is! He got a tome!
He's got a tome, my dude.
He is trying his best, sir. You leave Lich out of this.
That bench just swaps him into his death. I'm not gonna get over that. That's gonna be like I'm gonna be lying in my bed tonight, just going.
You leave Egg alone. You know you're so horrible. First the fire.
No, it's MVP's fault, man. Like he just like MVP stayed alive there, so I guess it was a sacrifice worthwhile. But still.
First you tell me, first you give Peaches a hard time about Firestorm, then this poor Lich. Egg,
Dyer's middle tower is under
you're a dear we love you and we are rooting for you, and that is there's no we're not being facetious. We want you to do well, and I think notAhero is a bully. That's what I have to say about the matter.
No, I'm not, man. It's just things that don't make sense to me. I'm gonna openly say it, and then maybe I'm.
Okay,
maybe
fine,
I'm,
get back. All analysts are bullies. That's why us play-by-play casters, we got you back. We're just gonna call out huge plays. We're gonna shout when and we're gonna scream for you when you do well. It's these
When you hit
dirty
level 6,
analysts.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
These dirty analysts you can't trust.
Okay, so
What
Venge
does the graphs
has
actually look like? At the moment, XP net worth sitting at 10k, XP sitting at 7.5. Win probability is at 81%, which I think is actually a little bit kind at the moment. I think IDGAF are in. I think it's worse than that for them. But as you mentioned, like
his eggs, but it's just too far away. He needs to go shard next if he wants to deal any damage, but he's opting for blade mail. Like I don't know. Like the item choices are a bit wonky. They just need to like reevaluate how they want to approach the game. They can still win this. Like it's only 8k,
Dyer's
so
middle
it's not
tower
that far
is under
away.
attack.
But they need some armor against this draft.
hold on, what's happening mid? Tranquilo wants to make something of this because they did pop the LT from the center war runner. They actually caught out SPD, but they didn't have nearly enough to say. But he's also got the Aegis on him, so he is feeling pretty confident to be aggressive. A lot of lives, but he has lost a lot of HP actually. The tower even getting in on it in the end.
Dyer's middle tower
But they will
has
pick up the
fallen.
first tier 2. Montwoods Gaming. They're in striking distance now. In fact, I lied, that's the second tier 2. They picked up the first tier 2 ages ago, but it does mean they can also secure this output.
This win range also has a diffusal blade. Both of them opting for Maelstrom diffusal. Medusa, good luck.
They just turn off Mana Shield.
Yeah,
Joke's on you.
don't use it. Don't use mana. Don't even skill it anymore. Go stats.
Scanning.
Left is not
Yeah,
deadly stats. Don't
actually-
even.
You know, you could have actually done that. Now that I think, it actually may not have been a terrible decision.
Like, just don't level mana shield and go
Oh,
stats
well-
instead.
Yeah.
Oh, smoke on smoke action. Oh, Venge.
So they're going to catch out the Tranquilo, and they just commit everything to this VS. Everything. Nice little save, but it's going to be temporary because he is definitely going down. Does have that Ags up, so he's actually still contributing here. Could they potentially turn this one around? The Soft comes in. They do have the Witch Doctor. He has got invisibility, but they have a ward right on top of him. The Paralyzing Cast doing work though. Hoof Stomp again comes through from Brilliant, and of course the Chain Frost does do a little bit of damage, but it's not enough. They're going to try to take out their team here. They do in fact commit just to
Oh, no,
French
Lich
Victory.
TP'd in!
Oh.
Lich TP'd in! Egg TP'd in!
No, Egg, not like this. Not like this, Egg. My sweet.
That's just that's horrible communication by his team. Because Pitlord started he popped the rift, he bought back and started TPing in. The rift completed, taking the Medusa and the Underlord out, and then just leaving Egg to die after he bought back. That's horrible.
Oh no.
Come on, man.
He just got caught out. He's actually going to be fine. They're going to give this one up. But I just want to say that I think that Egg's team is a team of bullies.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Everyone
Like,
is bullying Egg.
I could literally just tell him, don't TP, we rifting out, we good. He buys back HellbirD, TP's in to come
Okay,
help
this is
his
going to be the
teammate.
shortest smoke of your life. They go in, they actually don't connect the Hoof Stomp, and they do control this Centaur War Runner for a little while longer. Smoking Vega and Co are going to back off. They're going to de-ward because they realize that information had to be available, so correct response there. But the tier 2 tower in bot lane is also going to be brought down. 32-11. By the way, I just want to point again, there's been a mad amount of kills so far.
Yeah, once again, I'm scared to look at items, I'm scared to look at last hits. Like, it's just been fighting.
Well, let's do a look at losses. So it's actually better this time around, by the way. The Weaver's actually got a fair amount, 177. Deuce is sitting on 157. But even so, it's definitely just been a lot of very high tempo Dota. These two sides seem to love to fight each other. And in one way, it's great. Oh, hold on. There's actually a ward right down here. But in comes the hoops from Billy. The Chain Frost not going to connect nicely here, but they're controlling the Vengeful Spirit. Shackled up. Peaches can't save his buddy. They do get the disruption off, which is going to buy a little bit of extra time. But the ulti was good from Fratrix on the high ground. They got off a lot of damage from this. They did lose their VS, but of course, with that image up, it's kind of part of the plan here. And she's still keen on potentially making something of it. The Aegis has also expired. Bear in mind, the swap comes out onto Battledrome, and they're going to follow up with the pit. They do manage to deal with that illusion for the most part, but they get the first kill that they need, and they bring down the Windrunner. Smoking Vega also heading for the hills. He wants out. Can they finish the job, though? They need to slow him down. They do get the disruption out, so he'll be able to be brought down. And this is incredibly useful stuff. This is a great... No save egg!
No save egg! Like, team, help the man, please! Like, what is going on? Like, they're just leaving him for the wolves or for the bugs or whatever that's on him, but...
Wolf
like,
bugs!
The wolf bugs. Yeah, like, I think Montwoods Gaming needs to calm it down a bit. Like, they've got the map, they've got the lead. I know they are playing against the Medusa. But this Medusa has Manta, guys. Like, he's extremely far away from having like a Scotty and a Shard and all these types of things.
Well, you can see right there the amount of damage that this Weaver's able to do. He's going to immediately TP out, but the Tusk is there! They're going to pick up Fratrix for free. And Fratrix was pretty much the reason that they won that last fight. He got off such a great ulti from the high ground, but unfortunately...
Also, why is Medusa farming there without taking her outpost back?
I was going to say the same thing. So I think he even crossed across it because Weaver seemed to move on that. I'm not seeing any wards. So to me, he must have given his position away. Maybe communicating, looking somewhere else on the map and just strolled through.
Just not realizing that that's not your outpost, because if that was his outpost, that TP was completed and he was fine. But because it's
mid lane, they pick up the Lich again. Good old Egg.
He's
Thank you for the
team.
15 times for the lads, and they actually catch out Billy here on the high ground. They should be able to finish the job. I like the fact they're just going to control it. MVP just needs to make sure he doesn't walk in the hoof stomp. That's exactly what he does. They commit the push as well, saved beautifully, but the Pit Lord had their number from the side. SPD gets back in though, immediately pops the BKB. They're managing to do a huge amount of work with the paralyzing cast as well. MVP will fall for the first time. That illusion also being controlled. You won't be able to use it even. IDGAF. That mistake. Okay, Tranquillo is actually phenomenal. He's been playing a fantastic game. Chainfrost actually going to do a lot of work here. They're bouncing around each other. This actually falls in the fight. They pull back Tranquillo up onto the high ground with the gaze. But they're going to pull him back even further now. As Tranquillo able to get out regardless. Beautifully done there. It was a good play by Egg, but unfortunately he's playing to a hero that just has answers at this point.
Yeah, and that was as good of a Lich ulti as you're going to see, because it was bouncing, but Centaur having that full pipe up, like just negating a lot of that damage.
Unfortunately, it's also a level 6 ulti. You know, we haven't yet seen the point where it's been able to reach the next stage. So
because look how that ulti scales. You go from 250 per bounce
400
to 400. That's a lot of additional damage.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, his teammates just kind of left him to his own devices. Like, he's died 15 times, not to his own fault. Like, buying back to help his team, and then his team just puts his ultis out. Bench swapping him into team fights to save himself. So he's kind of been the sacrificial lamb this game, which is, it's been rough. Like,
I'm not a fan of this blade mail, by the way, on the bench. I know you mentioned it already, but I don't quite understand what the intent is behind it. Like,
yeah. So I guess his thought process is like going Shard. Stealing base damage is not really like gonna help that much, because both the Weaver and the Wind Ranger has Diffusal and Maelstrom.
Oh, hold on. They catch out SPD, but a beautiful time lapse is gonna get him out of charms. Where that was the right play in my mind as well, because the cooldown and the control you have line up. You can happily wait out 30 seconds here, and you don't force a fight. You don't force poor old Smoking Vega to have to kill everyone, because that seems like what he does. But you know, theoretically, having to run in as a sport, it always sucks.
SPD also learning, because that's how he died the one fight. and he's not going to let it happen again. So the moment that swap pit comes out, he just like uses his ulti instantly. Yeah, what I wanted to say is like usually on this like carry venge or whatever, you want to get shard now to amp your own damage because you still base damage. But I guess he kind of thinks that Wind Ranger has Diffusal Maelstrom and so does Weaver. So all their damage sources is kind of coming from like magical procs instead of actual like base damage. But Weaver still has a lot of base damage. He's got 162. Like Wind Ranger's got 137. It's not minute. So he needs like a shard BKB. He's going AC to try and buff them up. But he needs like, yeah, he needs Aghanim shard into a BKB and then his hero is going to be...
Well, it's going to be a shard, but it's not going to be his. It's going to be the side of Montwoods Gaming.
I don't know, I would have given it a Tusk.
Yeah, I just feel like Frozen Social's admin though. Like that's what I feel.
No, I think it's good. Or even like Weaver, the reduces the bugs cooldown by 4 seconds, and then like your Geminate hits everyone who's got a bug on it. Like that's pretty good as well. Centaur's not.
Power Shot Global's actually probably the one I would have gone for, just because it's.
I think it's either Weaver or Tusk.
Okay,
there's no BKBs on the side of IDGAF.
Hold on.
Like
Matrix forced out, and they do connect here. Beautiful work from Billy. Gets on the front line. He's going to get saved though by Helsinki, but of course Egg brought down. Was able to get the Lich ulti off, so a little bit of damage done to Tranquilo. They'll bring him down. The trainer supports for support, but Billy in a very sensitive situation here. He's all the way in the back line, but in comes the Wind Ranger. Battle Drone trying to finish the job, not able to do so. Freightrix though totally out of mana, has to try back off now surely. And SBD, he's really keen to pick a fight, has the Monkey King bar as well, will finish off yet another one of the IDGAF's heroes, and it does look like the end is starting to come here, as the tier 3 tower should be brought down fairly easily now, and of course they turn their attention immediately to the racks. It's going to be the range racks of the call, so maybe not too keen on sticking around too much longer. Billy gets swapped back in by that illusion, stays alive though, get a little bit of damage, and they're still trying to keep these racks alive. The range racks very low and should be brought down. They focus fire the melee ones, the melee ones as well. They will do it, but in comes Tranquilo right on top and manages to deal with Helsinki, but they are able to keep him alive for the time being. Egg falls down regardless though. Billy is stone gazed up. He's trying to back off as Tranquilo and Co can't help him out just yet. Was that cheese that they ate? I think so. Tranquilo eating cheese for himself, so fighting fit again. But with 3 heroes down, they can keep this siege on. In fact, if they catch a Freightrix here...
They should back. Yeah, the heroes are spawning. They should back now. Like, they need to push out the other lanes, they need to push out this bottom, they need to push out the mid, and then they can go again. Just need to, like, calm it down a bit. They are pretty close to their next items as well. Okay, Wind Ranger has just changed up our items, but Weaver's sitting on 2,700 gold. Pretty significant. Centaur is pretty close to Shiva's guard. He needs about 1,000 gold from it for it. That's pretty good against the Medusa as well. What is Tusk going next? Lotus Orbs, eh? Quite a few Lotus Orbs. Wanna reflect that snake from the Medusa and get it back onto her. I guess Shadow Demon ulti, Venge swaps. Like, yeah, pretty good Lotus Orb game. Lich ulti. So, lots of big spells. Is the side of IDGAF like close to anything like big? Medusa's not going Scotty, she's going BKB. She needs it against all this mana burn, but... Oh, no, she changed it again, so she's going back to Scotty. She needs both, that's the problem in this game.
Scotty seems like a really good item in Dota, just in general these days. I mean,
yeah, it's just because they're just so bad. Like, you kind of feel like Scotty kind of covers both departments because of the region break or the region reduction. So... It's a weird one.
The swap comes into Billy. I don't know if this is the right target though. They're going to control him very nicely. They even Sister Gaze him straight back in. He is not moving. But look how much damage that hero was able to take. At the very least, they did force out the ulti from the Witch Doctor. So one less thing to worry about for now. But you're not killing that Centaur.
He still has the switcheroo, Helbird. The voodoo switcheroo.
I mean, it's 2 seconds, right? So it's something. Yeah, 2 seconds. And minus 30 attack speed. It's not ideal, but it's something. They're going to immediately deward the Ruin. And the Sentry also dropped down as well, so get a little bit of extra bang for their buck.
30 attack speed is pretty good against something like a Medusa, I guess. Or even this Venge. Not insignificant. Something. Where is Venge going next? Oh, he's still committing for this AC. He needs a BKB, man. Like they need BKBs. It's Maelstrom Diffusals. That's where the damage is coming from. It's Maelstrom and Diffusal. If you pop a BKB, Weaver's hitting you for 170 and Wind Ranger is hitting you for 140. And if she focus fires you, it's even less. Obviously she's attacking really fast, but they need BKBs. If they can hold this for probably like another 10 minutes, they're back in this game.
I really don't get the blade mail though. It just doesn't make sense to me because
Wind Ranger can stop the animation now. It's
yeah,
not
exactly. It's not like the old days, and there's nothing else that can't stop hitting you. You know what I mean? Like there's no, and you're not a frontliner, so everyone's happy to avoid you.
Yeah, Centaur doesn't care. Witch Doctor doesn't care. Like it doesn't reflect the Witch Doctor ulti damage. Tusk, you stunned anyway from Snowball when he's doing it to you, so I don't know. Like if he went Blade Mail like first item to use it to farm as a farming tool, I would have said okay, that's kind of his farming mechanic. But the Blade Mail itself is really weird. And he's going AC next, and they're not melting from physical damage. It's Diffusals and Maelstroms. And I guess Witch Doctor ulti, which is physical, but it can only hit one person. He doesn't have Ags.
Yes. Beware. Beware what is smoking Vega. He does have Ags. He does have Ags.
Oh, he does have Ags.
He does have Ags. He probably just got it to be fair. No, he's got 600 golden, so he probably only got it very recently. But still, that's a yikes. Smoking Vega is.
Cancel for it though. They've got lots of cancel. You've got Medusa Stone Gaze. You've got Venge Swap.
Do you not doubt Smoking Vega? He's gonna get a full duration ultis. He's
They've
gonna
got lit
5-man Maledict.
Gaze. Well, that 3-man Maledict was pretty impressive with the Centaur Stomp, so that was something.
He is going to Maledict players that were in the previous game. Like, that's how much he's
Does Aghanims affect Voodoo Switcheroo as well? So does the Voodoo Switcheroo bounce as well? And then
I assume so, because it just turns you into Death Ward, right? So it's not...
So you apply minus 30 attack speed to everyone that it hits then? Because that seems pretty broken.
No, I think the minus 30 is his Death Ward. Like his Death Ward attacks for 30 attack speed left.
Yes, you're right. My apologies.
I was slightly confused earlier, but now it makes sense.
Yeah, okay. Because, yeah, that would be broken. Ooh, Minotaur Horn. Or who's going to take Minotaur Horn? It's really good. I think, like...
I actually really liked it on the Centaur. Just making... I mean, we saw before that they couldn't kill him, right? Although he's got Cloak of Flames. No, I think he stays it. Yeah, maybe the Wind. Or even the Weaver, just to get out of, like, all the items are actually so good. Their neutrals are so good for them right now. Give it... You know what? Give it to the Witch Doctor, huh? Give it to Smoking Vega. He wants it. Just because it's reasons. I'm gonna go to Billy though. This is fine. I actually was gonna say this. I kind of prefer his previous item, if I'm perfectly honest. Because...
I don't like this People's Gift on the Wind. Like, I think she needs something else. Give her the Flicker. If Weaver's not gonna use the Flicker, give it to Wind Ranger. Is Weaver gonna use the Flicker? No, he's keeping Elder Tunic, so... They're waiting for Roche. How long is the timer?
Well, they're actually stalking Battle Drome, yeah. So MVP is looking for that potential swap. Didn't quite have the range on it, and didn't have the backup either. But yeah, I mean, they have the illusion of the Witch Doctor is going to go out. So they're definitely... The fact that they're sitting there just means, like, we are totally chilled. We got 1 minute 40. We don't know that specifically. Yeah. But we're happy to wait. I mean, why not wait 2 minutes? And they've ever
changed the items again. She's going BKB now.
Very undecided.
Actually has it.
I want to make this weird point. So, they're waiting for this Roshan, and this is a fantastic Roshan for them. They're going to get it around about the 40-minute mark, right? That gives them, not quite, but it's going to get them in striking distance of the 50-minute mark, right? Until they have to worry about Roshan again. And a further 10 minutes beyond that on the next Roshan, possibly. Why that's important is that if this game does go to 60 minutes, that's where things start getting a little bit crazy, and something like a Medusa gets the right item, and life just becomes very, very challenging. So there's 2 really good Aegis opportunities to close this game out, and I don't think it'll necessarily take 2. I think that this is probably the end here. I mean, taking a peek at SPD with the Flicker on top of it, the BKB, full Satanic, it's going to be really hard to bring him down. One would assume he'll just swap out the power trades, take the Aegis for himself. It's also going to be an Ags Roshan, I think, so...
Shadow Demon is 20 gold away from his own
The
eggs.
dusk is always ready for a fight.
Oh, it's actually, yeah.
That is significant.
You
that
make the
is-
Weaver over just bullying people.
3 charges of Demonic Purge every 60 seconds. Also causes Demonic Purge to break. So, Centaur, no retaliate. Wind Ranger won't be able to wind run for a very long time. No Geminate attack on Weaver. Oh, Venge? Kill the courier!
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Oh no, they want vengeance. They seek vengeance. Tranquillo has found MVP as well,
Tranquillo's
and
angry.
this is it's everyone's angry. They converge. MVP's alive. Flee, MVP.
Escaping.
Flee. It's getting out. No. I actually, you know what's funny about this? I saw the animation. Almost looked like it was a Walrus Punch. You didn't catch me
Why
out.
would-
I just want to say.
Why was he there? Like, why was he there?
to kill the
Like,
courier,
why did he go there? Oh, like, it was that whole mission just to go kill a courier?
I
Like,
love it when
someone's
pan
courier-
comes together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like,
look
that's
at
like-
Roshan. Oh, you poor sweet thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Poor sweet Roshan. So it's
Refresher
actually a refresher shot, and that they're going to the Centaur. That's probably the right move. But
I don't
there
know.
wasn't an ag
Double-
specimen in there. Or did I miss it?
Double
No,
Witch
no.
Doctor. Double BKB on Weaver. Double, like, time lapse.
Why
I
did?
don't know, I would have probably...
Yeah,
given
no,
it-
fair enough. The time lapse would also been like fatal, right? Like you could probably end
Yeah,
the game on
double
them.
time lapse.
Oh wow, shame.
You've basically got 3 lives with that cheese if you've got refresher, time lapse.
Well,
Poor egg, man.
this is probably the end of the game right here. This is a phenomenal opportunity here with this Aegis, with this cheese, with the double stampede, I guess, to finish the game off here. Nice route though, doing some good work from the Underlord. Actually, a lot of damage. Here comes a chain for us. Bad creeps, naughty creeps. No, you've messed this up, creeps. It's still bouncing actually. It's pretty good. On the back lines though, they're going to bring in the Centaur, but he doesn't get the hoofstop off. He's actually being controlled quite nicely here. He's so tanky though. How ridiculous tanky. He pops the refresh shot. We'll have yet another round of abilities available to him, and in came the Tusk, but he also got caught out. He's coming back in. They have the ulti coming from Smokey Vega, but it hasn't done enough. In they come, they're controlling SPD as well. Are they going to stand this? No! Ridiculous! IDGAF, they're still alive for a little while longer here. In comes Beldrone though, he wants to try to turn things around, wants to make right of the situation. The ulti is popped by Pradix as well as the BKB. This may be a mistake here. A lot of damage being dealt to Beldrone though. Bear in mind, he does have the Aegis. Now SPD turns his attention to Peaches. Peaches back here. Power shot goes through as SPD runs in onto the high ground and finishes off the Underlord. Now it's the Deucer staying low. An immediate buyback comes in. They do in fact have some control over the SPD Weaver. And SPD, can they finish the job here? He's in a little bit of trouble. He gets swapped back. He gets brought down. But they're holding. They're actually holding Peaches and Co. Swarm, which might just be a corpse of Beldro. They managed to control him. The magic missile comes out. And I don't believe I'm going to say this, but IDGAF defend 4 versus 5 into an Aegis, into a cheese, into a 30,000+ gold deficit at the time.
Why did Weaver not pop the cheese there? Like, why did he not use it?
Lactose intolerant. We've seen this.
Fair enough.
We've seen this a lot,
Yeah.
mate.
Valid reason. People like just not using cheese. Oh, that's Hoscott just messing with him.
Radiant's middle
Has he gotten his courier back yet? Yeah, he does.
Radiant structures
Oh, and the
are
fortify.
fortified.
Alright. There will be no mankinis, by the way. Please look at the
What?
win probability. I'm reading the stream chat, okay? Just
What
don't
are you
worry
talking
about that. Don't worry about it.
Why
okay?
are you bringing up mankinis?
Everyone wants to see you in a mankini. That's what happened. They certainly didn't say anything about
that
me.
was-
They
that
want you
was-
in a
that was
mankini. Listen,
2007.
just go back to the game. The win probably at the moment is 96%. It was actually 99% for about, I want to say, a good 12 minutes. It was 99% for a good 12 minutes. But we are still here. We are still playing. And believe it or not, like the graph's actually dipping back in the favor of the IDJF. They've pulled things back a little bit here. I think it's still unreasonable to expect to come back or anything like that.
Are they
But
gonna go on this
but
bench?
Fratrix has the Scotty, has the BKB. He's got a lot going on. Bottom lane, they do catch out MVP. But how? Oh, you got Trix's cloak.
Trix's
That
cloak.
does not suck. MVP.
Trix's
Oh
cloak.
no, Smoking
no.
Vega.
Oh, no.
Drive by.
Oh no!
He just waved at him. Just
Chill. No,
see you at your base.
no. You know what I picture right there? Remember the Mr. Bean movie where the biker flips him off?
Yes. Hold on.
And yeah.
Right now, Fratrix, they're ice shotted out here. Peaches is in a little bit of trouble. He just wants out. Release me! Release me and my friends. But that is a big ulti to lose as well. Stinky and Co caught out here. It's the two supports. The Chain Frost is solid. That is about as good as Chain Frost as you're ever going to see, because that is going to hit nothing but net. But can they capitalize? Fratrix comes back in. He's going to catch out the Centaur. They're going to swap back the Centaur. But Billy still lips side of this. They're all back in it. They're pulling back the Weaver. The Weaver pops the cheese. He's still alive. Still has the time lapse. Although he's brought down. He's brought down. They're actually staying alive here again. And they're going to bring down Tranquilo. Tranquilo gets into the snowball though. Where are you going? All the way over onto the Shadow Demon, who dispels himself as he tries to get an egg in trouble here. But Billy standing his ground in the middle of things at the moment. Can they still hold here? They're trying to force their way back onto the high ground. Billy and Co, but using the paralyzing class beautifully, but a little bit of reprieve was there from Fratrix as they once more hold the high ground.
They need to back away. Like, if they lose the Weaver here, they could be in trouble.
They could be in real trouble. They could be in game 3 trouble. SPD. You really wanted that one, but
he needs to start using this flicker. Like, he's getting rooted by this Pit Lord ulti way too much, and he's not using flicker for it. He's using time lapse to get out of the Pit Lord ulti instead of using the flicker. Just needs to calm down and evaluate the items and like just start playing properly. Like, like it's on the knife edge, and they are playing against this Medusa, so they're probably scared Medusa's getting too big. But just Centaur.
I mean, Billy is not scared. That is an angry Centaur. Look how big he is, man. 5k HP! The man is on 5k HP!
I hate when Centaurs do this though. Like, why did he build heart? Like, just get overwhelming.
SPD actually isn't able to stand his ground. They're gonna catch up Battle Drone here. Battle Drone in a little bit of trouble. No ways! Look at the damage he's taking right now. Fratrix is impenetrable, and it's only getting worse. I mean, he's got the rapier lined up. Oh.
Centaur took the hoof stomp duration at 25, so he's got a 4-second disable basically when you hoof stomp someone. Pretty good. But yeah, overwhelming blink over heart. I think it's better here, and then he's got an open slot for something else, maybe like an Axe Scepter. I guess I'll just get Axe from the next
Actually,
race.
Axe is pretty good here, right? Like,
yeah. Axe refresher. You keep a Weaver alive.
Yeah, and it makes
So
Fratrix like the Mikado. Because you just pop it away.
Like if you want, but if you want 5k HP on a Centaur, just buy overwhelming blink. You're gonna have 4/7, and your blink dagger actually does damage according to your strength. You're a Centaur, so that means you got a lot of it.
Hold on, look at the smoke, top lane. The Rapparoony egg caught out here, and they're blowing everything on. But he actually has the end disc, he's alive! Egg survives to they swap him out defensively, and the Chain Frost flies through. Tranquilo in trouble. Veldrome turns his attention to the Vengeful Spirit, is able to bring her down. Fratrix with the ulti, pushing people back. The Tranquilo's still up. They don't have the buyback available just yet on the Venji, which means that this might be the end. This might be the end right here. Fratrix has to stand her ground, his ground, and look at the damage! Fratrix, are you doing it again? I don't believe it. They can't beat through the Medusa, even with the pick off, and they pull back the Centaur Warrunner. They're gonna get an Ultron. Fratrix, they can't break this base, and Egg is alive. That's the most important thing. Egg, look at you. You're level 19.
Why?
There's a 20k net worth advantage, and they're losing this. This is going to be turned around.
Why are you taking a fight top? Why are you taking a fight top? Why not just pop your BKB with Wind Ranger, run high ground, hit the tower until your BKB timer runs off, then you run back down. Then Weaver pops his BKB, runs up and hits the tower until his BKB runs out, and then he runs back down again. Why not just do that? I guess Benj will swap you.
notAhero, please avert your gaze to one Fratrix and behold. Behold what is upon this creature. The push is coming.
Weaver's grabbing him though.
Yo, Weaver's putting pressure on this, and they actually popped their own. Oh no, this.
He's hitting tier 4. He's hitting tier 4.
This could be it. This could be the play. What happens here? The Uber Express, but Peaches isn't paying attention. Peaches didn't bring it back. No, Peaches missed it. He's alone here. Can they even get back? Do they have TP? There's no TP on Fredericks!
These
Why are
CFOs
you
about
doing
go
this
down.
to me? My heart!
Does he not have a TP?
He doesn't have a TP. And they missed
What left him?
he didn't pay his Uber driver and he just left him behind.
Felice is like, Peaches is like, nope, you're not getting on this car. Get out of here, dude. Like,
Everyone, but it's funny because I think what happened there was they got caught by paralyzing cars. And he was just like, "Get in here, lads!" And they were like, "We're dying."
don't leave me.
Oh my god. I saw the SB1 game 3 now. Look, I gotta say that. Okay, so Roshan going down again, unfortunately uncontested. So this time it's got an Aghanim's Blessing, a Refresher Shard, Cheese, and an Aegis. This is a huge power spike.
Yeah, they have to give the Axe to Centaur.
Oh
Wind
man,
Ranger
that
just
is
took
yeah.
it. Why did Wind Ranger take it? Like, you guys don't like aren't tanky enough to like why would you take Aghanim Shard against a Shadow Demon with Ags? It purges in instances, Hellbird. Doesn't purge once. It purges in instances. So you can't win run ever.
I just want to say one thing. If you defend this, if you take this Aegis down, this was the point I was actually worried about for Montwood. If you get to that 60-minute mark, there's some crazy stuff that starts happening in Dota, and Fredericks can.
Bottom lane's not pushed in. The bottom lane's not pushed in. Like,
Okay,
why are
well,
they?
Let's see, the smoke right outside the base. This hasn't been picked up though. Top lane, once again, they see Helsinki and Peaches.
Dire's courier
They're respecting it though. Beldro got the crew down for. That was actually important as a low sword. In they go, the fight breaks out. Tranquil in the middle. Fredericks standing and delivering. And once more with the chain frost. It bounces through. Fredericks standing. They're holding. They might just be able to bring down the Wind Ranger as well. She's low. Beldro falls. And once again, they stay alive. Smoking Vega will die alongside an SPD. You're in trouble. You're in a lot of trouble. They're winding up around her, soaking it in because if they can control it, and yes, they can, they'll bring down the Weaver again. IDGAF. They stand. They deliver again. And right now, they're just bouncing off this base over and over again, and Fredericks is getting bigger and bigger, and the next Roshan is coming alongside level 60 items, and I tell you what, at that point of Ledoto, who knows what's going to happen. Billy, what are you doing?
He's trying to cut the creep wave. He's trying to cut the creep wave.
He ran past everyone.
Montwood is losing the plot completely. Why are you pushing in top with Aegis when you can just siege bottom?
What's the buyback?
You can chip bottom.
There's no buyback on the Weaver. The Weaver doesn't have buyback for 30 seconds.
Yeah, like they're losing the
What are you
plot,
saying?
Albert. They're completely losing the plot. Like, why are you fighting top? Why not just chip the bottom? Weaver pops BKB.
Is this a base race? Are we seeing a first base? It's a base race! Okay, it's a real base race! Beldro, focus fire on the Dire Ancient, but it's not going to be enough! It's not nearly enough! Montwood! What happened? IDGAF victory! We're going to game 3. Welcome to EGL One. Yes, that just happened.
I don't know. Like, that was... Montwood is just... They just lost the plot, Albert. Completely.
They had 12 minutes of a 99% win rate probability. Look at the graphs are absurd. Even up until the very end of that game, they still had like a 65% win rate probability. The graph never was able to catch up, notAhero. The graph ends.
No, but they have Aegis. They have Cheese. They fucking take the Ags and give it to the Wind Ranger when there's a Shadow Demon instead of giving it to the Centaur. Then, in that fight, Weaver pops BKB, Venge pops Blade Mail. He's scared and doesn't attack the Venge. When you have BKB on, you are immune to Blade Mail Reflection. And why are they fighting top? Just hit the bottom racks with your Aegis and get Mega Creeps.
Maybe
What is
next
happening
time.
now?
Maybe next time, because one way or another, we just watched a team come back from a 99%
30k.
like lose
30k
probability.
net worth difference.
No,
Net worth difference was 30k.
the experience difference was 45,000, at one stage. No, I'm actually. You just don't see stuff like that very often. Let's be honest. That was an amazing experience. Like, full stop. I'm baffled. I'm amazed, and we're going to game 3. Whew.
Woof.
I am. It's I
don't know. Like I've been broken. Like I've been broken. Like from poor Egg being level 5 for the first 20 minutes of the game, his team swapping him into deaths, him buying back to help his team, and then they put Lord Uber out and just leave him, to Aegis and Jesus and Ags being given to a Wind Ranger against the Shadow Demon instead of the Centaur.
Yeah.
And then you've got Aegis and you just choose not to hit buildings, you want to go fight them top, and you just get destroyed. I don't know. It was... I don't know.
That was a Dota game. That's
you
what
guys
happened.
just... No,
Dota was played, the game came to a conclusion, and we're not, because we're going to game 3. We're going to take a quick break though. We'll give notAhero time to compute because he's breaking, Devin a time to fix his hair, and the team has an opportunity to regain their senses. And of course, let's be honest, an opportunity for the production team and us to soak it in, because this has been exactly the kind of start I think we were hoping to have with games that are just this fascinating. But anyways, we'll be back shortly. Don't go anywhere. Stick around to the end of this fascinating series. Either. Right, welcome back, everyone. I'm amazed that we are here right now, and I'm glad that we're here right now because I really did enjoy that those first two matches. Are both phenomenal for their own reasons. You may notice that we're going a little bit crazy here. We're having a crazy hair day, and notAhero is joining me now because the last game it was fairly ridiculous, right? So
I'm done. Like I'm so done. Game broke me, eh?
How how many kills were in these last two matches? That's one of the scary things, because the previous match, and it looks weird to see this, that Montwood Gaming got effectively a kill a minute again. So they have an average of more than a kill a minute over 2 matches here so far. And IDGAF somehow win the game with literally a kill every 2 minutes, right? Just amazing stuff, and bizarre
Let's
and
be
crazy
honest.
and
Let's
weird,
be honest.
and
It was a throw. It was a throw. Let's be honest, it was a throw. Like, Montwood just, like, they lost their composure a bit towards the end. They needed to calm down. Like, you have ages, go hit buildings. Like, they had ages and they did this little weird wrap around into the top lane. And they just got destroyed by a Medusa with Rapier. They just needed a bit of composure. They needed that one person in their team that goes, guys, just, this is what we need to do. The person with the ages hits the tower, the rest of us sits behind him. If Vayne swaps him, he's got ages, we'll make a counterplay. Like, there needed to be like a calming voice, but it just looked so erratic.
10
And
seconds remaining.
they ended up losing the game because of it.
well, I'm in the weirdest way. I'm kind of glad, because I can live up to it. I always have this thing I say where it's about, hey, we're always allowed to hope for the game 3, and now I can finally say I'm glad we got there. So I have no remorse for what happened. I'm glad it happened. Come at me. You'll find me on Twitter. You can rage at me, but regardless, of course, this means that Montwood and IDGF are going to have a third and final matchup here. So interesting. They're going to open things up with the Lich again. The return is the Grimstroke. I do want to say that last time as well, I think IDGF, if they had picked any other hero than Medusa, they didn't win that game. Maybe like a Gyro. Like Gyro and Medusa was pretty much the only chance. But even Gyro, it's probably not.
Any like high rapier territory type of hero. So yeah, but also, like, let's give Freitex let's give him some credits in that regard. Like, he didn't just BKB Rapier. He went BKB, which he needed. He went Scotty, which he needed. And then he decided, okay, I've got BKB and a Scotty, I'm going to get Rapier. So, like, his choice was really good on when to get that Rapier. A lot of people should have gone like, oh, well, it's Rapier time, let's go, and then just give it to the other team. But I think his choice on when to get the Rapier in the game was crucial. And then good on IDGAF to capitalize on Montwood's mistakes. That top rotation, they reacted to it well. They knew their racks were safe, and the Venge pick, like we could the Venge pick was very weak. No, it worked in the end. Like from minute 1 to 20, it looked horrible. But then after the BKBs came out and after all those other items came out, the AC actually started benefiting them. So it actually ended up benefiting them quite a bit. And
you know what's the most important about the Venge pick?
They're gonna do it again.
No, Venge took a life that didn't belong to him. He took Egg's life. One of those battles.
Yeah.
But
the poor man.
At the end of the game,
10 XP away.
end of the game, he gave that life back. He returned what he had once stolen and swapped the core Venji, swapped out the 5-position Lich, and it worked out.
He had Axe. That's the only reason why.
Doesn't matter. He did it. He took it for Egg, and now we have Lich Egg probably again here.
Okay, so let's get into these bans and picks quickly. I'm going to run through the bans quickly. Broodmother has been banned out in every single game. Meepo has been banned out in every single game. So I am assuming IDGAF has a good Meepo player. Then they actually took out the Pit Lord, which I'm surprised about.
Did you say IDGAF played under another name before?
Middle Meepo. That was their previous name.
Which is obviously the name of our friend who is currently
been banned. Yes.
Yeah.
So probably why. Then they took out the Pit Lord. I'm not sure why. I didn't really feel the impact of the hero in that game. The reason that they had such a big lead was because of the Pit Lord. So I guess they just kind of feel in the late game it's a hero that really contributed to the win. The Pit Lord was part of the reason why Montwood had a 30k net worth lead at one stage. The hero just didn't have any pressure on the map. Then Bristleback's taken out. We see Puck, Clockwork, Ursa, Centaur, and Axe taken out. So all high tempo heroes, all quite mobile. You're looking at Puck, Clockwork, like the Ursa, the Centaur, the Axe, all like very tempo in your face type of heroes. So I'm not, maybe IDGAF, they opted for this Juggernaut pick. So we saw Liquid do Juggernaut with Medusa, so Medusa could still be on the cards if they don't take it out. They can go back that route. But Montwood open up with Grimstroke and Lion, which I don't know, like.
I know you don't like Lion, but I know you love Grimstroke. So how do you
Yeah,
feel?
but
about
I hate when a team opens with 2 supports, because then look at the bans. Ursa, Centaur, Axe, and the last 2 bans is just going to be carry focused. So I don't know. It's just your supports is usually those heroes that tick those last little few boxes that you need. So you want to kind of pick a support on 3 or 4, your 3rd or your 4th pick. So picking 2 supports so early, none of these teams have touched Snapfire yet. I'm really surprised, especially if they wanted to go Slardar. Like, I like Snapfire Slardar much better than I like Lion Slardar.
And I will say this much: I don't think the nerf to Snapfire is.
No,
it's a real nerf. Like, I do think it matters, but I don't think it matters enough to Snapfire.
0.25 armor per level. In total, it's 1 less armor, or like 1.5 less armor that you reduce.
Yeah, I mean, look, I do think that that matters. Like, I actually think those small numbers, like, they're significant. I mean, you're only minusing 6 regularly or something like that.
But it didn't make the hero trash now.
Agreed.
Good. It's not broken. Like, so I don't know. If your purpose was to pick up something like the Slardar, then just why not do the Snapfire instead?
How does it even work?
If you Juggernaut, though, like,
if you
really
minus 0.75,
you go into negative. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, do you even like? I'm not sure what the calculation looks like from Dota's. Do they actually calculate that kind of armor reduction, or is 0.75 just a like? Do you have to have 2 stacks to have 1? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure. What
it'll go into the. It would go into like the little things. So
yeah. All right.
It will definitely calculate into the little things. Same as when you go into like minus armor. It'll definitely calculate into the negative. So.
But you know what I'm saying, like, because it's going to get like you are going to lose 0.75 armor. You're not going to lose 1 armor or only 1 armor when it hits 1.5 or something like that.
Well, you'll actually lose
0.75 armor. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go through this. I mean, Darkwater picked up here. So I mean, IGF they've also done something a little bit interesting to me, because they picked up what we would assume is their 1 position very early on. I mean, normally you pick up your offlaner or a flex pick when you do your.
Responding to Slardar. Like, Slardar is extremely good against Juggernaut. You don't care about spin. Like, you just hit him. So, yeah, I like the Slardar pick. What is going on?
One of these things is not like the other. You see, one of these
is the intruder. They are a little hidden.
Something is sus.
Mysterious... Yeah, something is sus.
But you know what's interesting about this actually is I'm not sure where they're going to go with this, because look, Lion mid is a meme, and I don't think you should do that. I'm just going to point that out. But
I still think Grim
and Jakiro are both potentially cores. But Jakiro is an offlane core. Slardar is an offlane core. What if 2 of these?
You can do Slardar pos 1.
What if this is pos 4 Slardar? Like, honestly,
could be a pos 1 Slardar.
Could be a pos 1 Slardar. Yeah, it could be that. But this is going to be very interesting.
Most likely that's a Grimstroke model. Like, most likely that's a Grimstroke model.
Yeah, I think it makes the most sense, right? Because then you can just have some normality with your other picks. So you can have Jakiro and Lion pick up the other cores. And because the biggest problem for me here is that Slardar and Jakiro both want to play the same kind of core, in the sense they both will be offlane. So I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, but I'd rather have a farm Slardar than a farm Jakiro.
Oh no, I totally agree. But in the instance that one of these things has to become the sport, you would expect it not be Jakiro, because Jakiro would be an offlaner. So therefore, it's between the Lion and the Grimstroke. And the thing that probably makes the most sense there is, I agree, the Grimstroke. But Lion mid is like a pub thing, right? Like, that is not to be counted out. And maybe you have somebody like Battle Drones is like, guys, trust me, I got this with Lion mid. And then, you know, your team backs up a player who's going to do something weird, but it's something they're particularly good at. But I tend to agree. I think it's going to be Grimstroke mid. Might even be a Jakiro mid, I guess, is possible, but weird. But yeah, one of these things is not like the other.
If that's a Jakiro mid, they just put the Legion Commander middle, and which is probably happening right now. is if you put Legion Commander middle, he just purges off all
Rallies,
Jakiro's
you may
damage
now
over time.
select your heroes.
Okay, so this definitely is not a So I was gonna say that's definitely an offlane starter
Yeah,
because
it's a mid
with the drow you need that kind of front. Yeah, it
so
is a
Billy's
mid.
been playing quite like a bunch of weird mids. Like he played the Rubik in the first game. I don't think Grimstroke is a weird mid. We've seen a lot of pros do it with success. We've seen, I think it was it WRG that ran it, or was it Sin 5? I think it was MD that played the Grimstroke mid.
Yeah, I want to say this by the way before because I actually kind of like this
It was
now. Because,
Junaid for XD. Junaid played the Grim middle.
so I just want to say though, I like this Grim. I don't like the Grim line anymore, but I like what they did in a weird way because if the Grim was always a flex pick for them, then they didn't pick 2 supports to start out with. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
so it's a really interesting one because in a way, it's totally reasonable for IDGAF to have made the same assumption we did with that being a support Grimstroke. With that said, though, you still have to pull off the mid Grimstroke, which isn't actually as easy as said as done. You know, like a Grimstroke needs to do well to be a mid Grimstroke. Otherwise, he just starts to feel like a support Grim. Especially because he still wants to play the same way. I mean, he doesn't suddenly change the way he plays. He doesn't buy a Blink Dagger and Inkswell on you. His job is still going to be to Inkswell the starter. He's just going to be able to do more damage.
There's multiple ways you can play him from the mid lane. So like I was experimenting with it quite a bit, and you just kind of go like null tally bottle and then unboots and then you rush E-Blade. So you kind of get like E-Blade around 14-15 minutes, and you chuck a bug onto someone and E-Blade him at the same time. You can't take the bug off.
Sure,
the render damage is close to 600 damage, and like if he goes like that type of style, I think he can like do a lot of work in this game. It could destroy this Legion Commander's game. It could like really hurt this Mars. He can insta kill a Willow.
Also good against E-Blade, also really good against the Jug. So I agree with all of what you're saying, by the way, but my criticism still is about the fact that he's not going to buy a Blink Dagger and Inkswell himself and Blink on top of a hero. He's still going to want to position in a similar way. He's still going to want to contribute in a similar way. He's just going to do it more effectively and do more damage. You know, so
and now that the cast range talent has been taken out as well, you kind of feel like you're forced going into Aether Lens at some stage, even as a core Grimstroke.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I guess at least now Aether Lens becomes something more impressive. But regardless,
yeah.
The point I want to make though is that pulling off a Grimstroke mid is still a thing. You still actually have to do it. So it's not as easy as being like, well, you know, we have the hero now, like, ta-da, it's going to work. Like, it's still a thing. But anyways, these sides are now mirroring each other. There is a smoke that's using IDGAF to get control of this other area. I actually kind of like this. If they can just hang around here, maybe they still find like a lion or something gets a little bit greedy. This is like who blinks
a little
first.
bit upset. I'm a little bit upset that they gave Tranquilo Lion this game. Like, the man has been playing so well in these mobile heroes.
It's only because
like,
you hate
Clockwork
the hero, though. Maybe he'll be a great lion.
No, but like
hold on,
imagine,
hold on.
like,
Peach is going to catch up, Billy.
Oh, here we go.
No.
No, it's friendly. Like, just picture that Clockwork game he played and the Tuskar game he just played, and now you have to see him on Lion Halberd. Like,
I mean,
come on, man.
Getting amazed. I mean, he's even playing behind Grimstroke. He's going to get triple hexes off somehow. Triple Finger of Deaths. He is going to get 7 people mana drain.
I will say, like,
he's going to return mana to his opponent to steal it back.
Dude, that is actually a fair point. Like, his synergy with Battledrome has been really good. Like, we saw it with the Wind Ranger Tusk. They always made sure the focus fire target had tag team on it. Like, then his synergy with the Clockwork and the AA, the first game, was really good. So I would not be surprised if we see like double Finger of Death from the Grimstroke ulti this game. So
Are you guys watching this sports battle, by the way?
yeah, it's kind of sad, but entertaining at the same time.
It's just don't walk the egg. It's a trap.
Oh, he won the Salt battle because now he can go and solve.
Yeah. Unless he dies. Okay,
What,
no.
you say that so full of evil in your voice. Like,
No reason. No reason.
I'm like a little bit freaked out right now. Like, what's going on? Like,
Port Bell
what
continues.
happened to
Tranquilla's playing around the tree line though. Tranquilla. Oh, it's a bait. It's a bait. Yeah, he's gonna get solved.
It's a trap.
Die. That was incredibly entertaining. That was actually one of the most entertaining little tussles I've seen in a long time. Egg definitely lost though. Tranquilla got the better of that. But the biggest thing as well, actually they've lost them both ways, because Billy also got ahead of the Juggernaut in the lane. Like, it's not about the CS, it's about the HP, right? Because he's got a Salve and the Tango, and although there is more on the other side, one has been used up something, right? So there's like profit on the side of Billy, and there's still more that's going to have to be used by Freightrix. So definitely worthwhile. This continues! Tranquilo versus Egg. A battle. Neither of these two players is willing. Like, I will beat you. Like, do you see this tango? You see this tango? I'm going to use this tango to get through you, Tranquilo. You will lose this. Or actually...
But this is in MWG's favor though, like, cause Slaughter, like, doesn't care about laning against Jug. Like, he actually beats him. Like, it just, like, right-clicks him over and over again, so...
You know what I like from Peach is it? Sorry, just stay bottom lane, because I've had enough of this. It's never ending. These guys are going to fight forever. Like, there's a core battle going on over there, and over here there's Tranquilo fighting against Egg. Does he actually have a good tell?
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, he's gonna survive once again. The support. No one has won this. Do you know? There's a guy who's played Dota with a guy called Illusion, right? Really good player. He used to play mid. Alright, SPD very low. Can you finish the job, Peaches? Helsinki also there, but just doesn't quite have the range just yet to get on top of him. Wants to try. He knows he needs 2 hits as well, so it's gonna be a little bit harder. Beware multi-shot. Who's got the voice line now? Nobody wins. This is a Wind Ranger. Yeah, it's now nobody wins, or whoever says that, right? That's what Lich has done here. Right? Like, I blame Egg. It's like Tranquilo and Egg lost. Like no one won. Only Billy won.
Yeah, yeah. Like they just ruin each other's games. Like Billy is the one that came out on top of this. Like Freightrix got some XP, but
I just
like,
imagine.
Billy is a happy boy.
Just imagine both captains, like 20 minutes into this game, they're still tussling over this area, right? And both captains just like, shh, let it happen. Let it happen.
Yeah, no one else goes there. Lion's still level 2, Lich still level 2,
just like solving themselves. Actually, they'll be level 3 because they get the passive XP. Oh, Egg could be your first blood here in trouble. Gets impaled as well. Does survive for a little while. Billy though will get your first blood, and they're gonna get the TP out from Tranquilo. And Billy, as you mentioned before, he's happy to fight up against Freightrix. So, in the end, I actually am disappointed, Tranquilo. Sorry to disappoint you. I am disappointed. I wanted you guys to fight one-on-one forever, and you brought in a friend. You know what happens there? That's like you're a high school. No, you're a primary school kid, and you just bring in your big brother to beat up somebody who's giving you a hard time. Like, I'll see you after school with my big brother.
I've had to eat 3 lunchboxes to regen from this dad. Like, come help me.
You know what the problem here is?
Opting for the 8th first item.
Who Grim? Yeah, so I mean, we called it though, right? Like he has to, but it's the problem I have with Grim.
Like he needs to deal damage. He just goes E-Blade and he has damage. Like, and then like E-Blade, Aether Lens into Shard. You'll have it before 20. It's, I don't know. The Aether Lens is nice. Like he's got the slot off for it, but that's the only hero that really benefits from it. So just get an E-Blade. Like make Legion's life a living hell. So yeah, we'll see. Like, is he gonna opt for the Ag here and make some copies of Juggernaut?
I feel like, to be honest, I feel like Ags pays off later, right? Like, I love Ags and Grim, but I feel like you should definitely go Ags when the cores really matter. Mid lane, oh, look at the damage. Battle Drone actually gets on top of MVP, but in the end, unable to commit to the kill, and he does have the 6-up now. And if this connects, this could be a problem. They bring in the Dark Willow as well. MVP does have the ability to duel here, and will do it. The support is coming in. It was a little bit slow. They might have the damage to finish on Battle Drone, and it is there, but they didn't quite do enough to secure the duel. They bring in Smoking Vega. He'll be okay with this. Let's be honest. This guy's happy right now. He's like, yeah, I'll get my 6 now. Stay dead a little while.
What I like about the Ags on Grimstroke is the illusion actually has bonus attack speed and movement speed. So you're basically making a target that you can ink swell and run forward with, and it hits really hard. So, okay, Tranquilo just messing with Freightrix a little bit. Otter has left the lane. It was just probably waiting for regen. Oh, he stacked a camp as well. He stacked 2 camps actually. Are they gonna feed this to the Grimstroke or the Drow? probably to the Grim, eh? To get him
I
like
think
battle
as
ready.
well, yeah, because also it's fantastic. Like Grimstroke, when you see those stacks, it's great. Freightrix is going to be able to catch out Tranquillo. I think this is enough to finish the job. And no, he's actually unable to secure the kill. Eventually, will though. Tranquillo tried to use some fancy footwork, but quite a bit of damage also done to Billy. So I think that's a win for them. Obviously, our boy Egg goes down, but this time around, very worthwhile, and they still have the potential Omni Slash available in this lane. I think this is good. Right now, I actually think this lane ended up working out in their favor. Jug is ahead of the Slardar, and they're trading out those two support heroes. I kind of feel like, and I say this all the level, but I feel like Egg is less valuable in this game than the line because of the Grim core. Like, Grim is almost like, he has a pet in this game, you know, which
and
is
they don't have
Tranquillo.
like big bursts with Legion deal. I guess like Willow can ulti on top of it, but like what's your like kill combo with duel, just to like ensure that your mid Legion commander keeps scaling? They're actually wrapping on the Legion model.
Yeah, Tranquillo. And of course, they've just killed this line, so they may not know this is happening. And the MVP, he is very high up on the high ground. They get silenced up, the Impale will come down as well, but it's hard to combo up there as well, I guess. I mean, MVP's gonna survive this. They do bring the Willow very aggressively here. Gonna get a little bit of damage off, but in the end, they're just going to trade out sentries, trade out supports rotating, and I think MVP probably the person who suffers most, but he's also probably the person who cares least because he's able to just.
I just want to say they really made like nice with Willow's like animations, like especially when that stun pops. There's that little lotus
Egg
flower
top
that
lane,
pops
caught out here by Billy. He does manage to actually get the slow here, but of course, Zara's a pacey fellow, and with the help from Tranquillo coming in, might be enough. Battle Drum also there. I like what they've done here. They've queued up the Inkswell, but unfortunately for them, the Blade Free was still available, so they lose their mid. Billy turns his attention to Freightrix. He does have a huge amount of damage potentially, but Egg is going to have to be the victim because he's been satisfied. Well, he's satisfied rather with letting his core survive. Freightrix, he'll feel that nothing of value was lost, but I know.
Slardar could have tanked that Omni. Like,
I mean,
he's got treads and a bracer.
I think he did though.
Like he
They're
could
all
have
there.
tanked the whole. Yeah, but they shared it. Like Grim should have just backed away. Like Slardar was tanky enough to survive that 100%.
Yeah, but it's a very important kill as well. I mean, this is once again a very close matchup at the moment. We haven't spoken all about bottom lane, but this Drow has been very quiet, and that's always scary. When Drows are quiet, you know something bad is happening. But for the most part, Peach is actually having a fairly good time in this lane as well.
Billy. Grim is still top, but yeah, they've given Jakiro the mid lane now because Drow's kind of fine, which is nice. Gonna ensure him a nice.
Well, and Freightrix in a little bit of trouble here. Billy though, very low. He might actually be able to run him down. Doesn't quite have the legs, picks the right line there, but he walks straight into the line. Strucky Freight is there as well, and no Omni available this time. They get two very valuable kills in the top lane in the end, and this is a lot of pressure on this tower as well. Potentially just wrap the creeps around, maybe get it some extra damage. Wouldn't hurt. MVP, ooh, this man is found though as well.
Yeah, I think Jakiro should stay mid. Like he should get 6 there and push out that lane. He's rotating top because he kind of, I guess he feels that he's the main tower push. He's got 2 levels into the liquid fire, so they need him to actually do damage to this tower. Otherwise, it's not going to go down. Like all these heroes hitting like paper. So
that's an expensive rotation, and like I don't like the and they lose the courier, so it gets even worse. I mean, it's not a huge amount of money, but
yeah, he's gone Myrtle, which is right. Like Legion can jungle now. He's pretty big. He's actually claiming stacks. 2 braces, phase boots, and working out of it. Thank you, boy.
I'm not sure how I feel about this jug build, by the way. Like
I like it. I like it. It makes him more fight ready. It's cheaper than a Battle Fury. Like you can, it also increases your farming speed. So like
it's not actually the Maelstrom I don't like. It's like the lack of like Wraith Bands when you real stat items, because he's fighting. If he does fight, sure, he can deal a lot of damage with the Maelstrom, and he's probably not going to want to fight. But even then, he's got very limited sustain because he has no healing ward yet. So killing these creeps, he's going to do it fairly quickly. Well, Science does come out onto LC. Oh, good night. Well, there's your first finger kill.
Yeah, and it was on a link target, but not double link. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you'll get to it. I promise you, it's gonna happen. Don't you worry.
Battle Drum is just like watch out for being like
mid lane. Sorry,
with these rotations.
they're trying to run down the Drow here. Peach is actually still interested in this. He's still running. The call might still be to go. Slardar, realizing he has to help out his buddy, will start turning his attention to it. But he was actually dealing with the stacks at that time. He wants to just get some farming. He's not great at farming them at all, may I add. So it's not phenomenal. Yeah, Freitrix might be caught out here. The Impale does go. That is the longest Impale you're ever going to see. That was crazy.
It's ground targeted, so little note, guys, when you ground target Lion's Impale, the range is longer than if you click on the hero itself. So
To be fair
nice
though,
little-
didn't they change though? Didn't they change it to it's always ground targets, no longer even hero targeted? Because before
No,
you could
it's-
target the hero and you couldn't outrun it, he would get stunned. Now I think it's if you
No,
target the hero, it's more like
It's still hero target. I don't know. I haven't played Lion in years because hero's trash.
okay.
But yeah, the ground target stun is usually longer than the.
Yeah,
the
but I genuinely, I think by the way, it's been changed to a. It's just unit or point targeted. Maybe no, maybe I'm wrong. I just remember like somebody like Black raging about it on a Twitch stream or something. But maybe it was like from previous version or something, and I misunderstood. Bottom lane, they're gonna catch out Jakiri here, smoking Vega. He's actually such a tanky lad, even gets the ice path down. MVP comes in though, and he's got support from Helsinki, so that's definitely going to be a dual victory there. MVP gets one for the tank, and gets a little bit of extra damage.
And Blink on Courier for Legion, so he can start playing way more active at the moment. IDGAF's draft is allowing them to play much faster than we saw from them in the previous game, and it's looking good. Slaughter needs a blink dagger. Oh, he's got his blink as well. So they're probably gonna try. Slaughter's wrapping. He's looking.
Actually, if he can catch us, especially if he's got the bash, he does have the bash, and he's going to get on top of Stratrix, and he might be able to run him down. Does he manage to get him before the Omni Slash comes out? Yes, potentially. Beautiful save from Helsinki, and they even get the Phantom off, so they keep Stratrix alive, and their chances in Spite life potentially, because the Healing Wars does well. It doesn't manage to go back in there, but a lot of damage done to Drow range. They're going to cut the fight in half. Beautiful double crush comes out from Bully, and he should be able to be rewarded with 2 kills here. Anders Peaches, unable to help out his friend, realizing he may still be in trouble because Billy still interested in this, won't be able to connect with Ingswap, but does get pushed away. And in the back line, MVP comes back, gets a dual victory, now turns his attention to Smoky Vega. Vega should be brought down as well. The Blade 3 is there from the Juggernaut, and that at the end is going to be a very interesting fight. Was that a buyback on Lich into death for Lich?
So, well, let's got the Drow. The last little bounce followed the Drow like into the jungle and killed
But
it.
he also bought back and died, and you know, I put a little Lich, put a little egg.
Killed the top one Drow. He's fine. He's fine.
Look at him just.
Like he hasn't died 70 times yet, Holbert.
You know what's amazing is that last time at about this time he was level 2, and this time he's already level 6, and that's what's important. It's good. It's oh, hold on. Billy actually has a read here on Freitrix and goes immediately onto him. Freitrix could be brought down here. Immediately Fury's away, but here's the catch. He can still get just run down here and is going to be stunned up again. They're also going to get the Crows of Haven on top of him, but I don't know if it's enough. They miss with the crush, and that should be the end of that chase.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
he messed it up.
Oh,
a bit.
hello. MVP, what do you have there? A blink
That'll drum
dagger
needs
there?
to-
A double damage rune?
BattleDrum's got the Aetherlens 9, he's getting Boots of Trouble next, but I don't like this. You're a core Grim, get something that's going to benefit the team. Like get a Dagon level 1 if like that's your fancy, but just get something. Like E-Blade, Dagon.
Because he's just a really mobile support now, right? Like with the travel.
Yeah,
and
like
the
he's just a really
Middle tower is under
support. Like his damage output is extremely lacking.
structures are fortified.
So,
Look, I will
if you want to kill someone, you can use them or something. Like anything that's just gonna contribute.
Yeah, I agree. If I'm
So-
perfect,
Radiant's top tower
yes.
is under attack.
By the way, if you ever play with notAhero and you want him to like you, just make sure you buy only Solar Crest. Like 6 Solar Crest, he will like you 6 times as much. Just that, so you know. Got nerfed, by the way. I'm sorry. Mid lane, the catch on MVP. He's gonna be able to run away though. Sprint only level 1, so really not that much faster at the moment.
They should just like back away a little bit. Like Lion's really close to Blink Dagger. Like that's a secondary blink for them, so he can actually play with the Slaughter. So getting close to like a bunch of big items. Like Drow still wants to farm a bit. She's got Dragon Launch. She's going Manta next. Oh wait, here we go, middle.
Gonna catch on MVP again, and this time they commit everything, including Magpie. They do also connect the Soulbind. There's no line of the ulti from the Lich is flying through, it's doing work. They're gonna send them back. The Reader comes out. This is that combo with Mars. It works out beautifully. Beautiful Ice Path though buys him a little bit of extra time here as SPD tries to deliver from the low ground. He does catch out the Dark World. Helsinki so low, and the multi-shot not quite enough to finish the job, and the stroke effect goes wide.
So in the end, they don't finish the job, but they do trade off at least the Legion Commander kill. Peaches, not that way!
Wrong way.
Peaches brought out down by the stroke of fate in the end. And Endels, you get a bit of a freebie there. I actually think he should just run away. Like I think he was safe if he just
Yeah,
Boogie.
that trade favors Montwoods Gaming. You're getting 2 cores there for the offlaner and the support, and they're getting the mid tower out of this as well. So it opens up the map a bit for them. Also gave Drow enough for Blade of Alacrity and the Elven Skin, so approaching Yasha territory. And that's going to speed up her farming quite a bit.
I wanted to ask, by the way, just a question. So you see a couple of mantas coming out. Now before, I would have almost assumed this was going to be a Sanjin Yasha. The last patch, was that enough to cripple the item, or do you think we're still going to see a lot of Sanjin Yasha? Like all the Sanjin has been nerfed.
Yeah, Sanj is taking quite a beating, but it wasn't necessarily Sanj and Yasha that was the problem. It was kind of like these higher Sanj builds that started coming out. Because now you've got these spellcasting heroes, and Kaya was buffed like significantly, like in 7.29 itself. But now you've got all these spellcasting heroes with a lot of HP, a lot of regen, status resistance, and they spell MP. So they buffed Kaya to make it viable because people were just not buying it. But then people went like, we're gonna go Kaya Sanj. So it's just kind of to dissuade people from going Kaya Sanj now. Maybe Kaya Yasha instead, or Bloodstone in general. So
So the mantas are just for like the silence from Juggernaut, which I think is the right call, and Drow just because
it's also the cooldown, like its farming speed. Like in the past, a ranged hero had a 40-second CD on Manta, and with 7.29, it's 30 seconds. So it's a 10-second like less downtime, which is quite significant.
Oh, Billy, he's too fast! Fastest snake alive! MVP wanted the duel, actually blinked right on top of him, but Lana just... He just ran. I'm like, forget you guys, I don't want a piece of this. See ya.
In the river, he's a fast boy. But yeah, 30-second CD on ranged heroes for Manta, that's a 33% buff, which is a very big buff.
In mid lane, they're going to catch out the Legion Commander. They do manage to connect the line as well. On the back lines of the Dark World, does do a bit of work. Try save his teamer. In comes Peaches, the combo is there. They're going to try to bring down the starter. The ulti does go through from the chain for us. It's not enough though. Peaches in trouble and they will be able to bring down the Mars. They pick up 3 pretty cheaply there and there. They haven't committed too much. Obviously the line figure of death, but great fight for them.
Tranquilos is blinking a little bit too close to these fights. Like he's got range on his spells. Like it doesn't have to be like point blank. He worked out for them, but he needs to stand a little bit further backwards. I like this though. Spit killed 3 heroes. They've got a Drow Slaughter lineup. There comes the Gross phase. So like this is it's gonna drop quickly.
Yep. And I don't think there's any real likelihood of them getting into this fight before this is over. But they are up, so who knows? Maybe enough to sensitively re-engage and potentially catch somebody out after the Aegis? No, it looks like they're gonna give this one up.
Yeah,
That was
like
down to
right
the AOI though.
But that was a great move by Montwoods Gaming. Like they killed 3 heroes, no hesitation, straight into the roach pit. They knew there was vision because they had a sentry on that high ground there. They didn't get the ward though, but they positioned themselves accordingly. And with Slaughter, you've got a Slaughter draft. Let's just roach, get it over and done with. Grim is going blink tag in there. Like nah, you need to, I don't know.
I think it's okay. So this right here is like the age-old rule though. You can't go blink and travel. It's too expensive for 2 mobility items that don't give you a single stat. Like that is like an old like proverb of Dota. So I also don't like that because you could have gone like Trank Boot and have the blink dagger up at this point, for example.
Yeah, I would kind of like to look at his damage stats at the moment. Obviously, we can only do that at the end of the game, but he needs like some form of damage. Like get a Bloodstone just so your spells do more damage. Anything to just kind of like buff up.
What has your mid given you? Your mid has given you so far a support that can get around the map really well. Like that's what we're talking about. Like he's not adding anything more than a support Grimstroke would give at this point.
Yeah, but I do like the blink dagger in the way that like there's a blink dagger on the line as well. so they can kind of combo up like Blink, Soulbind, Silence into a Lion Finger.
Wait, top lane.
Block
MVP
right.
wants to try and get the Giant Wool. He also has the Blade Mail up, so they do have the support. They need to try and finish off a little bit faster. They're able to do so, and then they get the Jewel, but remember, that is an Aegis. In comes Tranquila on the back lines, the support is there as well. MVP's going to be careful. The Courier also giving away the position on Fratrix. He has to get out of it, does survive for a little while longer. Crowswift Haze up on him, and Billy does have the Blink Dagger, goes in, catches up Frey, immediately bailed up by MVP, but they have the stun there. They're going to get the Omni Slash off though, and the Chain Frost goes wild. In they go, they're leashed up together, but they're moving forward together. They want back, they want in. Battledrome realizes he's in trouble, has to back off. Beautiful Ice Path, separates things. The Peaches there to slow things down. Smoking Vega got lucky to be pushed away from the fight, but in the end, they're going to catch him up with the God's Rebuke, and Smoking Vega will be their gift in the end, but he's done enough. He actually bailed out his 2 cores. They'll be satisfied with that in the end. They're going to have to be. Because Battledrome got out, as well as the Jar Ranger. I think just TP'd out of that, if I'm not mistaken. But a phenomenal fight in the end. I got to hand it, those quick little reflexes. I mean, MVP getting away from the... giving that a little bit of extra room. The heal that came out immediately on Fratrix. Like, those kind of things matter because it meant that there wasn't the option to hold on to that stun. You had to immediately commit to it, which meant the Omni Slash.
Yeah, IDGAF is like splitting as well to middle.
Well, where to look? Top lane as well. They're going to catch on MVP here as Tranquilo backing up the slaughter. Billy just trying to be done. Does manage to get the throws to Have, and they trade all his mana. The finger comes out, and that's going to be a beautiful little kill. So they actually get to the Dark Willow as well. But yeah, it came at the expense of the Dark Willow. I'm sorry, the Grimstroke. This just feels like a better game of Dota. Can I just point out that the last games were fun? This is good. That matters.
Yeah.
Tower is under attack.
Teams. Like they're mimicking the movements, they're waiting for the item timings. Like when heroes are overextending, they're picking them off instead of just like running blindly at them. Like this is more controlled. It's a good game of Dota. This Drow's farm has started to slow down again as well. Like Juggernaut's 2k ahead. He does have this Maelstrom build. So what is he going next? He's going Manta into Ags. Okay,
Yeah, he's actually got it. He's just about 700 off.
Yeah.
Oh, but they
Oh,
kept
they
him
just
out.
pinned them
Smoking
with
Vega.
They pinned him with the scan. You know,
Yeah, he's
they're
too you know, I hate creeps, right? Like, they're supposed to be on your side. They always block you. When has a creep ever just been like, sorry, sir, let me get out of your way? Sorry. Tell me if
Oh, here comes the commander. They make way. But it would be weird, like, if you run towards a creep wave and they just, like, parted like the Red Sea. Like, that would have...
we all know that Sinister 5 would find a way to abuse it if it did. Just practice running at them endlessly.
Like, shout out to all the XD lads. I see there's some of them in the chat as well. But even after that game, like they were the ones that said, like, first game we gave them the cheese.
Oh,
second
hold
game,
on.
the cheese.
Got excited there. I heard Inkswell. Whenever I hear Inkswell, I get excited because it's Slaughter on the field, right? Looking at hero levels, but I also want to point this out, that Jug is in a phenomenal position right now. When your one position is 2 levels ahead of everyone else in the game, it feels good. I mean, the Slaughter, who's the guy who's supposed to kind of deal with him, is only level 13. So I really do appreciate how Fratrix is just keeping that distance between his opponents, and he's got the full Aghanim coming out.
But the draw is moving to the other side of the map.
Oh, Tranquilo! They go in mid, they try to pick the fight here. The leash is out, so is the finger. So much damage, but on the black line, the Chain Frost was committed. It's doing a huge amount of work. Might actually kill Battledrone, and it does. Helsinki says, well, I think I can finish you off, Slaughter, and does. And in the back lines, they also have Fratrix as well as MVP trying to go down onto SPD, and SPD is going to get caught out here. He's being scouted, he's being caught, and he's being killed. 5 for 1. IDGAF. It's time we give you a nickname because I'm tired of saying that full thing whenever you kill everybody. This is going to be it from now, but they're doing it.
Yeah, no, that was a very crisp executed fight. That was a misplay by Montwoods Gaming as well. When you smoke, you kind of always want to be smoking towards your carry that's not with you. They kind of smoked away from him, which means he had to react and TP into it. And he just got to the fight way too late. It started off really nicely, the Soulbind, double finger, but after that, just downhill. Like Juggernaut got his ulti off, the Mars came in, Dark Willow is causing so much trouble for them. She's hitting multiple hero terrorizers and always using the Bedlam to do damage apart from it as well. So just like completely like controlling that team fight with Mars and Willow. Oh, sorry, you got a bit of hiccups.
You're standing head, not hero. We'll put it on camera as well. Get rid of the hiccoughs. Alright.
Just like drink water upside down or something. But I'm not doing that.
I don't know. You kill Roshan with your eyes closed. That's how you do it. Roshan is still away, may I add. But Tranquilla, the aggression here, just running.
Let's see them.
Yeah.
There's a ward right there.
Their ping is coming out, so Tranquilla not gonna find anything just yet. They're also just, I mean, when Billy is just like, behold my outpost. I will run all over it.
Is very defensive at the moment, like very defensive. Like they've got no wards on the enemy side. It's all on their side of the map. The sentries, so just trying to secure. I guess they feel they have the late game if they just keep farming.
Hold on, this smoke might pay off for them, but Billy's position means they get caught out here. They know this is happening, they catch out MVP, the ulti comes down, so does the Soulbind. The ulti from Marsno is going to win this one out. They're going to catch out the Grimstroke as well. Billy with the BKB is trying to stand and deliver, but MVP is still alive. He's going to wait this out. Guess what? I'm going to duel you back. He takes that one as well, and SPD and Co, they get bailed out a little bit by the Ice Path, but it's not nearly enough. Another 4 down, and they still haven't been able to pick up a kill. And MVP, he wants a little bit more for his efforts. They're trying to run down Smoking Vega, but the two-headed dragon is out of harm's way. But the tier 2 tower, it can't run. It's prey.
Montwoods is like making such sloppy mistakes here. Like their lanes are not pushed out at all, and they just running around the enemy side of the map trying to look for a fight. They did it, they lost the fight. Then what happens? They go and do it again, they lose a fight, and then they go and do it again and they lose a fight. Push out your lanes, get an additional item on your heroes. Like, ZALZ still doesn't have Manta. Her net worth has not moved for 4 minutes, HellbirDza, while Jugs has started creeping up. Like, when I said Jug was 2k ahead, yeah, like Drow was on 11k and Jug was on 13k when I said Jug is 2k ahead. Guess what? Drow is still on 11k and Jug is on 18k. They're just not using the map. Like, push out your lanes. Like, stop just trying to run at them and fight them. It's not working for you. Like, they're grouping again and they're going to try and do it again. Like, it's not working. Like, what's that saying? Like the
definition of insanity.
Yeah, or like, shame on me. Like, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. Like yeah,
that
like
thing.
that whole...
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
Fool me twice. Through me.
Yeah.
I don't know how many... What would you say for a quad? Quadfool? Quadrofool.
A quadfool. A quadrofool. The new car from Audi.
Audi quadrofool. Oh, hold on, because it might actually be quadruple. Mid lane, guess what? Chain Frost bouncing through, nothing but net. Tranquilla's going to take that one. They're going to get the duel victory, and Billy is on the run. That is not going to save you, friend. The river may as well be on the other side of the map, because you'll never reach it. And it goes straight down mid, because they know that right now there is just nothing in the tank from Montwood.
I don't understand what Montwoods is trying to do here. Like, they did it, they lost the fight. They did it, they lost the fight. They did it, they lost the fight. And they did it again, they lost the fight. Like, definition of insanity, like you said. Like, why are you just carrying on, running into these heroes the entire time, and it's not working for you? Go get another item.
And now Roshan is up as well. Yeah.
Yeah, like...
Roshan hated them, by the way. Like, literally was just like, I really don't want to respawn. Really don't want to have to deal with you, MVP. Gosh, guess you guys are here though. Fine, you can have my stuff. I mean, and they're definitely going to have no problem doing this. I mean, they don't actually have any anti-armor, I don't see. But it's not really relevant when you just have such a farm juggernaut. I mean, there's nothing in it.
They know they can't fight them. They know they can't fight them.
Well,
they shouldn't even go
about that. They want to fight them. They're going in. They're really going in. They give us a beautiful double ink swap. They also get the connection with the Soulbind, but once again, they're just not able to bring anybody down fast enough. They lose their Griddle Stroke, but he tries to finish the job with Egg, but he's still alive. They finally finish him off. Roshan is actually still for grabs here. The Omni Slash is going to be committed to SPD, and SPD will die. Ice Path going to cut the fight in half. Helsinki will shoo the Jakiro away, but they have bigger prey. Billy caught in the roach, but we're going to take you for dessert. Roshan goes down, Billy goes down, and they're going to pick up the Aegis as well.
They did it again! like this team doesn't have like an off switch. It's just, we respawn, we go fight. We respawn, we go fight. Like, what is... Like someone needs to step up in their team and say, lads, we need to calm down. We need to push out our lanes. Like, what is going on? I don't know. Like it's rough, eh?
I want to point out as well that this side has just kind of fallen apart, right? Like they actually were at a point in this game probably about 70% win chance, and they held it for a while. There were actually 2 points in this game between the sort of the 10-minute mark and the 20-minute mark where they were looking really comfortable. It's just been a downward slope. They're literally gone to the Alps on the decline, and they're skiing down towards the lower brackets because right now it's really not going well for them.
There's no composure. Like every time all of their heroes are alive, they're just running straight into IDGAF and they're losing a team fight. Like if these fights were going 50-50 and you were trading even, I would have said
MVP, very ambitious. He's sort of looking for that duel, but I mean, guess he's got it now. He's got the cheese, wants the battle, wants the rag.
Shard as well. Shard on the Legion Commander, really
That
good.
is
Press the
broken,
attack
yeah.
against spell immunity.
Because
That's really good.
Yeah,
Like,
it's honestly such a powerful ability. They're gonna try bring in Billy to catch somebody else, but not gonna do so.
Nice mustache.
I actually
yeah,
hate
like
that
they
thing,
just
by the way.
the press the attack.
The shard seems very overpowered. Like it really. You want to say that it should be a situational shard, but it just isn't. It's always a good shard, and when you get it for free off Roshan, it feels even better because you try to almost like double disable somebody when you're playing up against a Legion Commander. Like you bait out the press the attack and then you have the second disable. But now what happens is the hero runs away for 2 seconds. You know, it's 1.75, but it's 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And it reduces the cooldown by 2 seconds as well. So press attack only has a 10-second cooldown at that point. So it's like
and then 25 you just get AoE press the attack and you can do it on multiple heroes at the same time. So it's just super good.
yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
IDGAF like playing this game extremely well. They know they've got the edge. They've been taking these team fights like, appropriately. Once these BKBs have come out, like there's just been nothing to deal with it. Like we see BKB on Legion, we see BKB on Mars, and every team fight that breaks out, they just pop these BKBs, and they kind of like not threatened by this Grimstrike Lion Jakiro. And Drow doesn't have items. She's got the Manta completed, she's got a Hurricane Pike, but 13k net worth compared to Juggernaut's 23k.
Also, I really don't like this. They know that the entire it is down here in the bottom lane, but no one is pushing out mid, no one is pushing out the side lane. So literally all the momentum on the map is just gravitating towards the Ancient. And if you think about like how do you play Dota when everything is coming after you? You know, the enemy creep waves, the enemies, the neutrals are stacked outside of your, you know, you can't even get to them or anything. It's pretty rough. Anyways, they get the Hex off on 2. Fratrix, let's see if they can do this. Tranquillo, he's caught up by the duel in the back line. They do get quite a bit of damage onto it, but once again, the Chain Frost, the arena goes down, and they do manage to pop the cheese as well, so they keep MVP alive. Billy will go down to the Omni stack, and Peaches on the front lines, just trying to zone SPD and co. Look at the aggression from Helsinki. Out comes the double figure again, but the Yule's defensive is going to keep him alive for a little while longer. Helsinki trying to get out, going to be controlled by the Crush. At the very least, they stay alive for a little while longer, and Helsinki will be brought down. But it came at the cost of a buyback from Billy, and they're still not done just yet. Once again, just pumping up this Juggernaut, and he's going to be able to just spin out of harm's way, and he's taking it. So Billy wants this fight, and I don't think you really do. I think you want to go back home, Billy. Billy, this is not where you parked your car. Immediately gets on his dash, and in comes Peaches to back them off. They do get off a really good impale, though. They might be able to bring down Peaches. This is actually turning. Not a great execution from Id, and now Billy will fall here again for the second time because they were still fighting into that Aegis, and they'll bring down SPD. Tranquillo will die, potentially. Double Impale doesn't hurt, but Fratrix able to finish the job, and this is more than just the job, this is the game. SPD on the front lines, MVP will get pushed away by the Hurricane Pike. Pops a Blade Mail though, so no more damage available. It probably could have played it better, but they still come out ahead in reality. I mean, they still get more gold, they get more experience, they get more map control.
Yeah, they're not feeling pressured at all. They kind of, there's a lot of buybacks that came out there. There's a dieback from the Slaughter, dieback from the Lion. They did trade their Legion and they did trade their Mars and their Lich for it, but it's perfectly fine. Juggernaut's Maelstrom is in his backpack at the moment. Like, what's going on? Oh, he's got a butterfly. He's gonna swap the Maelstrom back in when Aegis is there. Okay, cool. Scotty, Butterfly, Manta, Ags, and nothing to deal with his butterfly at the moment. Like, nothing.
I mean, he's 25k net worth. He is now teetering on a literal double the net worth of the Drow. And unfortunately, where is this? Oh, MVP. Smoking Vega has to back off. He realizes that that's not fine. But like, I'm sorry, but this Grimstrike now has the Ags up, so at least he can do something. But it feels like only now he's valuable, and that's only because of the Juggernaut, right? Like, I will make you Juggernaut. I will recreate you in my own team, and I will use you to deal damage. That's been the plan all along, but unfortunately, like, it's great to get the Dark Porter out now, but it feels like at 35 minutes now your Grimstroke's online, and this may as well have been a support Grimstroke at this point. You could have just rushed 8 delays Axe.
Yeah, like a first item on Grimstroke, you want something to like gank early with, and like Aether Lens is not that item. Like just get like E-Blade, like even a Dagon. Like Dagon has been buffed so many times. It gives good stats now. It's 400 damage that it does on level 1. Like just get a Dagon if you want to like do something like this. And you don't like the E-Blade build. Just get a Dagon. You've got double Dagon with double finger. Like people are gonna go down on the early game. He just needs to like reevaluate his early game item choices. But IDGAF like ready to siege again. Juggernaut is like good to go.
No Aegis this time though. Got to keep an eye on that Mars though. Peaches sitting in the back line. He wants to go in again. He went in deep, by the way. He and Helsinki were fighting pretty much outside the fountain, that fight, and in a way that actually played in the favor of Montwood, because that meant that they didn't have to have this like all-out brawl with just the cores on top of each other. They were almost like separated during that fight, but they will get the tier 3 tower now. But they're respecting it, just playing off the Blade Fury. I like that. Not needing to actually, especially not without an Aegis or something. By the way, Roshan is actually on the cards very soon again, so you could take this bottom lane of Rax potentially, or just back off and play safe. Smoking Vega, that is not where you parked your vehicle, so. Oh no. I mean, okay, this is cool. You can just.
I don't know. Like, they're just gonna wait it out.
Actually, Freitrix is gonna burn in it. He's just like, I don't even care. I don't even care.
Like, he just stood in that Jakiro ulti.
It's a pity that they don't have like a Lina instead of a Lion, because then you have like the Stroke of Fate into the Dragon Slave, and you can push out these lanes forever.
Yeah, they do have the Drow, but Drow doesn't kind of want to be here. She wants to kind of be pushing out the top lane, and then she can TP in if needed. Does anyone have boosted travel on the side? No, they don't.
Once again, Frederick's just going to start turning his attention to the melee racks, and once again, just backs off. I mean, you can see the confidence. He's not even backing out in Blade Fury. He's just dealing the damage, and I mean, now he's okay. Well, they managed to actually make a clone. This might be their best chance. They do get the save once again, but in comes Billy. He's being Omni Slashed, though. That was not the full Omni. That was just the Ags. Was that?
He didn't install the clone.
Yeah,
they give it install the clone there.
I mean, he's just put it on no, don't do this. Don't do this. I mean, it dies for no reason, and he's got a 13-second cooldown remaining on Fort can be brought back up. So, not a massive fan of what just happened there. Tranquilo and Co, they do go forward. Figure comes out immediately, and they do drop the Magpie. It's pretty good, but in the end, it's not good enough. They're holding on for a little while. They do manage to pick up Egg on the back line. I'm not exactly sure what ticked over to kill him, but they get the kill one way or another. But again, Freitrix, front lines, going to get the Crows of Haven, but that was a little bit of a sneaky position from that Bramble Maze. And this time, that's a full Omni, and it fully commits onto the Jug, from the Jug onto Slaughter, but the Mars ulti's down, and they're bouncing around in the world ulti, and they're bouncing into the lower bracket, because there is very little left in the tank right now. The ulti of the Soulbind comes out, but Valdrode, there's no line behind you. There's nothing left, right? But however, look at this illusion! Ridiculous! It fights the real thing though, and Valdrode, he's not going to win that one. But he did manage to pick up a support at the very least. But the GG's called, it's irrelevant. Id, from a point where they were going to lose 2-0, outright with a 99% chance that Montwood never had to play this game, end up playing a pretty beautiful game of Dota in the end.
Yeah, like Montwood kind of, I don't know, we spoke briefly in the intermission about running into a brick wall and then carrying on doing it over and over again, and they would lose a team fight and then they would do the exact same thing again, and they would lose a team fight and do an exact same thing again and lose a team fight. But props to IDGAF, because every time Montwood would run at them like that, they were ready for it. Like that Mars ulti comes down instantly, Dark Willow like ultis afterwards. There was always the right people at the right time. The Lich ulti did work in the fights as well. Yeah, just a complete performance in Game 3 by IDGAF. Like more items on their heroes. Like the farming priority was good, and congratulations on their win on the opening day of EGL One main brackets, or main stage, if that's what we can call it.
It just got to feel good, right? I mean, this is obviously the qualifiers were a phenomenal event, and once again we had
a lot of support from the community, and that was fantastic to see. But this is the main event. The every match that has been played before this was the qualifier, and you get to be here on the main stage, cast on the main channel, and you perform incredibly well in the end. You have a great series, a memorable series, and we open up EGL One in a way that I think just really does it justice. This was a great set of games. Obviously, bear in mind, there were other matches played already. There was Sinister 5 taking on Hayes that was also going on in the background. Of course, Sinister 5 taking that 2-0 in the end. But the reality is this is the one that we're probably going to remember most. It's the one that was on the main channel, the first one of the lot. And you're going to remember that for a really long time. I can't imagine that it is ever going to sit back and be like, yeah, I forgot that game with the Deucer. Which one are you talking about? They're going to remember that for a really long time. And
that game where it broke our souls, it got us excited, it got us sad, it got us frustrated, it got us happy. Like, it just had everything.
Yeah. Look, on top of that as well, I think that this is almost a testament to holding out. I mean, how many Dota games have been lost at that 1% because you just gave up. There must be so many games like this that actually can happen where you can be that 1% of the time with a game. There's a reason it's never goes to 100%, right? There's a reason, and in this case, that reason got you an opportunity to keep your hopes alive in the upper bracket, and that's exactly what's happened. ID will move forward, and their lives in this tournament are going to be a lot easier. Of course, for Montwood, this is not what they want to be. They would have also preferred to have stuck it out here, but they're going to have to go the hard route if they want to go further in this tournament. But once again, congratulations to both teams. They both definitely had their moments. I think there's definitely potential for both these sides to go even further. I do think like ID are showing that they have bundles of talent actually that they can unlock and become a threat to some of the bigger sides in this tournament as well. And for Montwood, yeah, just I think if they had cooler heads, we would never have played this game.
Yeah, just a bit more composure, like that second game, like making the right decisions, because like that decision they made game 2 to fight top twice in a row and losing both of them where they could just hit racks with the Asias. Yeah, and feeding in Ags to the Wind Ranger over the Centaur, giving Witch Doctor the Shard over Tusk Sigil, which will slow down Medusa's attack speed in these fights, or even which was the other one we spoke about, the Weaver with Geminate. So just like with cooler heads, better decision making, and then they're going to be a top side.
Yeah. Right. As we said though, of course, this isn't the end yet. So I believe that, just trying to looking at the brackets now, see what this means for the side of Montwood. Montwood will any moment now. I get there. I'll see you. I'll find you. There we go. So this was match C10 on Battlefy. So that means that Montwood. So we can actually start sketching this out a bit. So Energy Esports is the reward for ID. They're going to play against them. They took down Odyssey Esports 2-0 as well. So that'll be a very interesting match. Well, obviously Energy also riding high. They recently won Ventac, right? So they're in a good space. I mean, they're the second seed into this tournament and probably feel like they deserve to be first at this point. And then, of course, for ZALZ, they will play against Odyssey. So that makes it simple enough. So the two sides that previously mentioned will now play against each other in the lower bracket. Hayes goes up against the loser of C2, which is going to be White Rabbit Gaming or Benoni Selection. So also tough competition for them either way.
So Thursday game.
It's a Thursday game. Well, that leads into it perfectly. So, hey, Thursday, we're going to be back with White Rabbit Gaming versus Benoni Legends. So I guess we'll see who will be joining Hayes in that lower bracket. But okay, admin out the way, all the stuff set, fantastic games of Dota behind us. It's close to 11. Probably start wrapping things up. notAhero, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
No, I need to go reevaluate my life decisions after this series. So, we'll play to both teams. And I hate you guys for doing this to me, putting me on the edge of my seat. But at the end of the day, like, some great Dota, and that's why we're here. Like, thanks for everyone that tuned in to watch. Thanks for the support from the community, and some great Dota by both teams. Well done.
All right. So I guess final thing from my side is bear in mind there are still some community matches being, matches being cast by some of the community casters. So keep an eye out for it. Watch the socials. I'm sure that Evesports themselves will be promoting those matches. So if you're looking for a one-stop shop to see where they're going to be, keep an eye on that Twitter page. And of course, from us, we will, as mentioned, be back on Thursday, same time. Assuming the lights are on, we'll be bringing some more action here for EGL One. But for tonight, thank you so much for joining us. I believe we'll see you next time. We look forward to it. Good night.